mean, the production design's beautiful.
Yeah.
Shit, compared to that last Alien movie and that last Predator movie.
I haven't watched a Predator movie that I've liked since Predator. Oh, gee, man.
Yeah.
Not since I didn't even watch that new one.
I don't hate Predator 2.
I don't know if I've ever seen Predator 2.
It's got a cool concept.
Okay. Chris isn't all pulled, so that's good.
Am I good?
Jesse's good. Cool. Might want to adjust your camera because all I see is beer belly.
I was like, who's he talking to?
Jesse needs to get in the gym, man.
Fuck you. I weigh 180, man. It ain't that big. What is the Venmo challenge? Bro, I saw you posting him, but I don't know what the fuck it
I
is.
can't handle
I love
him.
this guy.
I can't fucking handle this dude. He's such a dumbass.
What?
What's the Venmo challenge?
Sorry.
Oh, Jesse.
This is a season 3
You got
thing.
vitamins?
Yeah, bro.
You good?
I've only taken them like
Where are your
once.
glasses at?
I got contacts again.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Oz is open.
This dude is
Basically, our audience is going to give a little bit of money, like 25 cents, 50 cents, whatever they want to
Don't
donate.
explain it to him. We already
For
told
that,
him.
for that fucking thing?
For that fucking thing.
It's like a kid or something?
No, not that. This is something different.
Oh, well, fuck. I don't know. Bro, I don't catch up on all the messages. Sometimes they're long.
Dude.
I only catch the tail end.
That's why, like, you guys, you'll see me, like, I'll comment 4 hours later. I'm like, I'm just trying to catch up on everything.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do my
Venmo
business. I
challenge.
don't do the homework.
I can't handle it, bro.
So do I give money or what the fuck?
I guess you'll find out when everyone else finds out when we record on the show.
Whoops.
What's
Jesse-
this fucking Venmo
Jesse
channel?
will be just as fucking intrigued as everyone else, apparently.
What's-
We don't have a new intro because
What's Akin?
I can't. Akon?
Oh, that's with a K.
Akon?
Akon's with a K.
What?
So.
How they spell it?
Akin, A-C-O-N.
Oh, it probably
AKO.
auto-corrected.
To Akin? That's not a word.
Fuck if I know. Fucking iPhone, man.
He's building Wakanda?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
bro.
see
It's
that
worth
either.
$6 billion already, I guess.
Oh, fuck. So it's
So-
like legit.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. He already does a lot of stuff. Like fresh water and shit.
Fresh water and shit.
He does.
You could put the blame on him.
All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, y'all. If you're a fan of the show and you tune in weekly or however often you tune in, make sure you're liking us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Made to Motivate Podcast. Subscribe and hit the bell on YouTube. That way you know when we upload new videos to that channel. And do what you can to share the page when we have new episodes. We appreciate all the support. And with that being said,
You know what time it is.
Podcast Tuesday!
Live from Made to Motivate.
Has the goddamn
Podcast.
goal call us out on a Tuesday night? Damn it!
What's YouTube?
What's up, guys? This is Made to Motivate Podcast. This is season 3, episode 1. We got a new season going, and we all look the same. Same guys, same thing, new show, kind of.
I got contacts with all the money.
Jesse
that
doesn't
we've
have
made.
glasses on. Yeah, all the money we made. Jesse had surgery done. He doesn't have to wear glasses anymore. This
And
is your
Chris
host.
is on the clock.
Chris is on the clock. Chris is doing draft.
Yeah. Marvin Jones gone.
Aaron Jones is gone. Sorry, bud. So season 3, episode 1. This is your host, Ryan Weiss, and I am joined, as always, by Jesse Young from Sports Illustrated.
What's going on?
How's it going, sir?
It's going fantastic.
Christopher, the film freak Kessinger.
What's going on, man?
What is up, sir?
Busy weekend.
Busy
We'll
weekend?
talk about it.
Yeah, lots going on. We're kicking off season 3. If you haven't listened already, check out our 50th episode celebration. That was kind of our last shebang for season 2. We did have one other episode come out afterwards, but I kind of forgot about it. So might get overlooked
The lost
by
episode.
starting season 3. But we talked about some plans for this season on there. We're going to have more guests. We're going to do some more like givebacks and positive stuff. And we got a cool new challenge that we'll talk about in the Made to Motivate section. And Jesse's really excited to find out what it is.
Have him describe it.
Because, yeah, we'll have Jesse tell you what we're doing.
Something with Venmo.
So what's going on? Did we record last week?
No.
We didn't record last week, which is why the episode, I don't know, we're behind. Anyways, it's been 2 weeks. We've been fucking up.
Whoops.
We were missing recordings, and now we're missing recordings, and
We went back and did inversion.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna.
That's why we missed.
Oh, that's right.
'Cause
We missed for a good reason. That is right. We missed
We
for
were
a good
seeing
reason.
movies.
So, what's going on since 2 weeks ago? What's new and exciting with you, Jesse?
Kids show up tomorrow in my school.
They haven't
shit.
yet.
No.
Oh, I feel like they already did. Okay.
No, last week they showed up to get like all their technology and to get registered and like all this other shit. And
Okay.
now this week they are coming into the building. So
Shit.
yeah.
So I remembered you said like it was through a date, September 7th or 8th or whatever. Like that's where they said they're not coming. So they didn't re-sign it. They didn't push it, forward to where they said, well, we're not going to come back till October or November.
Nope. So
Oh wow.
apparently like Jackson and North Canton Open, they
Mhm.
haven't had any issues to this point. A lot of people at home.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor this week just as like a routine checkup thing. And she
Yeah.
was asking me, she was like, what's the deal with like your school? Cause I know you're a teacher, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I told her everything we were doing. And she was like, oh, that's not great, but it's not too bad. And she was like, I know a pediatrician friend of mine who sent her kids to school. So if they're doing that, you can kind of rest assured that they're doing something okay.
Right.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, so you said your kids go to, Jackson. How's it going there? And she's like, oh, my kids are at home. And I
Yeah.
was
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of people that don't
Fuck
want to
me
send their
then.
kids to
Like-
school, man.
So
What are you guys thinking? Is yours an all or do they have a choice?
they have a choice. We only
Okay.
have 2 kids right now that are staying home.
Wow.
Because so
Wow.
normally we usually start our year with like 25 kids. And by the end of the year, we have anywhere between like 65 and 70. And we just have like
Wait, in your class?
in my program. So that's
That's it?
divided amongst 4 teachers.
25 kids?
Well, because we're alternative. So the kids that get sent to me are the kids that get expelled.
Oh.
So we start small and then we add kids as they get in
I
trouble.
never really talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So typically we used to start really small, man. We used to start with like 4 kids. But then it got to the point where they were like, no, we
Jeez.
need to make sure there are people in here to begin the year. And
Of course.
which is fine, whatever.
I mean, I guess you can pay more attention to those 4 kids.
Yeah. And we've kind of gotten to the point where it used to be like you were with us for a year. And then we kind of just were like, all right, you did your year. Now you're gone. Somebody else will fix you if we didn't.
So do you guys have somebody that like goes into the schools and sets these kids up?
Well-
Spike your numbers. So you actually have
No.
somebody to teach?
No. So no, man, we're in Canton. They do. Our
it on
numbers
their
will
own.
be fine. But we've gotten to the point where like if a kid was really successful with us before, even if they were good with us,
Yeah.
it was just better for them to be in a small class. We kept them. So this year we're starting
that's
with
cool.
like 18 on paper. We haven't gotten in contact with some of them. That's like a huge problem. Like my district has not reached, last I heard was they were like 1,000 kids that they just could not get in contact with.
That's
Their
sketchy, dude.
numbers didn't work. Their addresses had changed somehow. Like
Wow.
I never like thought about it, but like you,
Do they do like wellness checks or something to go find
Yeah.
them?
so that's what we were doing at the end of the year last year. Remember when I told you I had to like call kids like
Yeah.
once a week? But by the end of like the second week, I had 8 kids on my list because we just split them all up.
Yeah.
6 of them gone. No number, no email. There was no way to get in contact with them to get a new number.
Never came back?
So they were just, their numbers just were disconnected. So that kid's just gone. You have no way of contacting them after that because their parents are signed up for the Remind app, but it's through their phone number.
Jeez.
And
So
they
the
just
parents
disappear.
don't send their kids. They just
Well, so
disappear.
at this point, you have the issue of a lot of people aren't getting the information from the schools because it's
Mm.
usually through your email and your phone number. So they're not getting contacted. And then they're not calling up and asking like, hey, when does my
I
kid
was
come
gonna say,
in?
come on, you still can call the school and find out what's going on.
When you work in a super low
I know that's just
income,
sad.
like high poverty area, it's just crazy to me because you think, like I think about it throughout the year, like their numbers are going to change. It doesn't matter what's on their emergency stuff because the numbers are going to change 3 times throughout.
Right.
But like, I never thought about the fact of like trying to come back from COVID and how many kids there are that just like, we just can't even reach.
Slip through the cracks. Yeah.
So on paper, we have
Wild.
18. I think that we've gotten in contact with like 12 and 2 of them are choosing to stay at home. And then we have 2 other ones where we're like making them stay at home. They were in our evening program
Yeah.
because they're like way off the chain bad and they just can't handle it in
So
the
how does
building.
that work?
So we just made
You
them
have evening
stay
teachers
online.
though,
They
like,
didn't,
specific for that?
it used to be, but now since of like
Mm.
COVID and everything, they're just online instruction and they'll just do it like everybody else.
Gotcha.
They didn't even show up for that half the time. But based on like attendance and everything, I already set I always jokingly set a betting line for events and stuff. And I was like, all right, over under is 6.5 kids for the first day of school. I think we're going to have 4. Everybody else thinks we're going to have 7.
As
8.
a teacher, 4 kids, I think that's easy peasy.
I couldn't.
That's nothing.
Beginning of the year, it is for sure.
That's nothing to teach.
Every kid's going to date each other by the end of the year.
Right.
Bro.
If they're required to wear masks, you're required to wear masks, man?
Yep, whole day.
If a kid does good in your program, can you get unexpelled? Can they get back into the normal school system?
That's kind of the shitty thing. I know I've said where I work and stuff, but I won't say it specifically because I try not to put it out there. But kids will come to us with a deal because it's supposed to be when you get expelled, you're either out for 90 or 180 days, which is either half or the full year. Typically, it's if you do well, you get to go back at the semester and you come back from Christmas break because that's brand new semester. Everything is fresh. You don't have to come in the middle of anything and get caught up. It's not stressful, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But they screw kids over so much because they just don't want them and they don't expect for them to do well. We had one kid one year who desperately wanted to play football. Yeah. That's his whole driving force between going back. They told him, hey, if you do really well, you'll come back at the halfway point of the year and we'll have you on the football team next year.
Right.
This kid did everything. Straight A's, no discipline, no missed days. Awesome, perfect kid.
Yeah.
His name was Cam. I won't say his last name, but he was
Cam Newton.
One of my favorite kids, right? Comes to the December time and I'm pushing for him hard. I'm telling our principal, I'm like, hey man, let's get this up there. This kid's been doing awesome. He deserves a shot.
Right.
They called up and they were just like, no.
Nah.
And I was like, well, he spoke with them they have a deal. And he was like, they said no. And they just nixed it. So this kid, and normally this would turn into a huge problem for us because then at that point it's well, fuck it. Why the fuck am I doing well then?
Right.
This kid didn't cause a single problem for us, but every single day, because me and him had a great relationship at this point. And every day I went up to him with whatever work we were doing, a book, a read, or a worksheet or whatever. And he would just be like, Unc, man, don't even put that on my desk because I'm not doing it. And it got to the point where he would just let it sit there. He would never do it. He would throw it in the trash or something. At first it was kind of disrespectfully throw it in the trash. I'd be like, hey man, I didn't do this to you. I was pushing for you.
Right.
Got to the point where he would just let it sit on his desk. And it got to the point where I would just take the worksheet, put it on his desk, and I'd be like, hey man, I have to give it to you. And he would be like, all right.
Just leave it there.
And he would be super chill. Mm-hmm. He'd sit back. He would quietly sit there. He'd answer all the questions. He knew all the content, but he would not put a pencil to paper for anything. He would not do it. And I'm pretty sure he ended up dropping out.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do?
And it's just, and they
That's
do that.
Awful,
they do that a lot. But yeah, so we start tomorrow. I've got everything put online. I've got a couple of weeks put online at this point. I've got to continue to upload stuff. I'm trying to do more and more interactive stuff this year because testing probably isn't going to happen just like it didn't last year. So if I don't got to worry about the test scores, what they did last year was if you passed the test or you passed the class, then you got a passing grade on your air test.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do more interactive, fun stuff with the iPads.
That's cool.
Early in the year, we usually do fun stuff. They write horror stories and then we do movie trailers for their horror stories and stuff. So I want to do more stuff like that throughout the entire year this year, but I'm trying to kind of figure it out slow as we go. So we're going to read a book to start off with called The Hate You Give. It's about
a good movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really good movie.
Planning on watching the movie, planning on, reading the book, obviously.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar.
It's basically about a young girl who's with her friend. They get pulled over by the cops. He gets shot for going back to the car window, wasn't doing anything, basically. And
both black kids.
Yeah, and she, I haven't gotten to this point in the book, but she starts protesting and stuff for him.
And she becomes a really big, almost revolutionary figure in this whole thing.
So
interesting.
Goes along with the times of what we're doing and everything, and
absolutely
doing all that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've done is just been working and trying to get caught up and
back to school.
Yeah.
Cool. Christopher?
Well, this week I had 5 different reviews, first of all, to go through, which was crazy. I had originally only expected there was going to be 3 of them, but got some requests by some readers.
I saw.
Had to dig through some some time. So I did that. My North Carolina vacation's coming up 5 weeks from Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
So I went ahead and reserved my room, booked my rental car and all that.
Oh,
My room is a brand new hotel. Like, I guess they just opened last week, literally.
damn, bro.
Nice.
And like the shower has like an automatic sensor for it to kick on and all that, like presets for
Yeah.
how warm you want it, all that. Like this room looks tight, man. I treated myself this
Yeah.
time.
Fuck yeah.
I had to. So yeah, just getting that together.
That's cool.
What about you?
2 weeks.
I know.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Nothing too exciting. I mean, the deck's kind of been on hiatus. I had surgery, so like any physical activity, it couldn't really do much.
How's that going? Like the recovery?
Dude, it sucks.
Mhm.
Like from what they told me, they're like, oh yeah, 2 to 3 days, you'll be good. No big deal. But like on the paper, it's like, but in certain situations, it could take 1 to 2 weeks. Like you still feeling like shit. Of course, that's me.
Guess what you are?
It's been over a week at this point. Friday was a week, and I'm still not. I mean, I'm up and about. Just still kind of like tender and stuff. But like enough that I was gonna work on the deck today, and then it's fucking monsooning out. So really, just super low key. I was out of work for almost a week, trying to get recovered and stuff. So I haven't done much. We all went to the movies. We can talk about that in Hollywood Report.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. It's been chill. Nothing super exciting is going on. Just been planning for this. Spent a lot of time editing episode 50, which was really cool.
Yeah.
You guys got to go back and listen. It was a fun episode. So if you haven't listened or even watching the YouTube, was fun. I did some cool stuff on there. So please check that out if you have not already. Let's get, I don't know, where do you want to start? You guys have a preference on where you want to start talking?
Doesn't matter to me,
Social.
man.
Let's get social?
Yeah.
Cool.
It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's the way the news goes.
So let's get social. We don't have a lot for this. I do have a question I want to ask you guys that was presented to me by a fan of show.
Okay.
But we'll do that leading into the topic Chris brought up about something with Vince McMahon. So first off, Trump boat rally. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it, but the memes have been fantastic.
Dunkirk.
Dude, Dunkirk. Dude, the memes have been fantastic.
Yeah.
So look, I don't want anybody harmed or anything like that. Like I don't condone that or anything, but like the boat rally that they had, where was it? Arizona or something?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
They had some big Trump boat rally at like Arizona or something, and because of the chop, because boats were going all different directions, everything, boats literally were just like sinking. And the Dunkirk one was great. There was another really funny one too.
My favorite is the one that says, like there's a rescue boat coming to rescue them or whatever, and it says, "Pay no attention to them. All boats matter." Yeah,
that's right. That's right. It said my boat is sinking, and then it was like, all boats matter,
bro. The Poseidon for Biden is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
They just got a Neptune in the background. Well, I guess Poseidon in the background.
Yeah,
I saw that one. I saw one where Trump was throwing them like paper towels or something.
Oh my God, that's great.
So here's my thing with this, and like whether you like Trump or don't like Trump, like I'm not even concerned about that. What other president has there ever been where there's this type of propaganda or like this doesn't happen?
Nationalism, man.
Dude, it's wild though that the following that this guy has.
FDR got 3 fucking terms and he didn't have boat rallies and parades and shit.
Portage Lakes just had a huge one this weekend.
But you know, part of it too is like, and I know it's a majority of probably older people who are going out on these boats, but part of it is our entitled generation too, who always thinks that, well, you know, we're going to be the loudest, the biggest, you know, whatsoever. We're going to piss as many people off as we can.
You know, like, cause I mean, in the past, obviously, like, there's always the bumper sticker stuff, you know, like Biden 2020, whatever it might be. But like, I mean, I see people driving around with Trump flags off the back of their pickup trucks and like huge banners on their boats. Where my dad's lake house is, like, the one guy at the end has a giant Trump banner in his front yard, flags all over his boat. Like,
how many American flags does he have on his boat?
One.
How many Trump flags are on there?
One giant ass one.
Yeah,
that's much bigger than the American flag one.
Exactly.
The fanfare,
which is against flag code, by the way.
The American flag has
the
to be
most
the prominent flag. Yeah. it's just weird. It's just real weird, the following that this guy has. Oh, it's going to be interesting. But anyways, I just thought it was comical. I'm like, this is insane. And like these people were just literally, like I watched a video of a boat, like the water's just coming into it. And then it literally just completely just is gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Someone like played Titanic music over it.
Well, there was one of the boats like caught on fire, like it was fully
dude.
engulfed in flames.
How terrifying.
How does that happen?
Dude, I don't know if electric short out or something, because I mean, the boats are waterproof, but not to the point that
Right.
to be submerged.
Yeah.
Dude, shit was wild. So anyways, I just thought that was comical.
I thought it was funny.
Um,
Nobody died. They're fine.
yeah, whatever.
Well, it's just funny how pissed they get too. Like when you start laughing about it.
Well, they're like, you don't care about all these lives, apparently.
And neither do
all
you.
lives matter.
Right.
So they'll be all right. Someone will take care of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a fan of show, and I got to be kind of anonymous about who it is and like where, just based on the conversation. But he had messaged me and he said, "Hey, I got a topic where I want you guys to you ask the guys this." And we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but a local sports bar, local to our area, had an employee who was wearing like a BLM, like a wristband type thing, like those like
rubber ones.
rubber bands, and it was a Black Lives Matter one. Apparently, she's been wearing it since like all this stuff has started. So
Since
3-4
like
months,
May.
let's say,
Yeah.
2-3 months. So she was wearing it this past weekend at work, and then another employee that's like a salaried employee. So I guess, maybe they're higher up management or something, whatever, saw it and they brought it up to like the owners or management or whatever. So they called her in the office to talk to her about it. And apparently it was, they're not okay with it, which, okay.
Management's not okay with it.
Like it's the restaurant as a whole. Like
Okay.
they're basically like,
I just want to get that.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess I can't remember exactly what he said. I think he said the owners. Okay. Management, owners. I don't know if the owners manage it as well, but it's a smaller place, so family run.
Must be an established rule then.
Yeah. So talk to her about it or whatever. Basically not okay with her wearing it. And it's to the point now where he said that they're not allowing them to wear anything with logos. You can't wear like a hat with a logo on it. They're not allowed to wear jerseys. It's a sports bar. They're like literally banning them from wearing anything that's affiliated with anything.
Mm-hmm.
To basically like stop.
Just because of political stuff, like they don't want you wearing Lakers because LeBron supports Black Lives Matter.
They're basically what he was saying is like, yeah, they don't want to say, well, you're saying that you're affiliated with this team, and then because of that, you're
right.
So it's
all because of politics.
That's where I'm getting, I think, from it. And I was trying to ask him, and what I basically said to him was like, look, I get the BLM thing. I get as a business having to be very cautious with what you support politically or what you're open about politically. The sports thing is odd to me because you're a sports bar.
Right.
People are coming in to watch basketball and the courts are covered in BLM stuff. Like they're already there to watch it anyways. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And I think it strikes up a weird thing. Like customers are like, well, you guys always wear jerseys. Why aren't you? So like, what are they going to have them tell the customers?
Right.
Anyways, long-winded way of asking it is kind of like, where do you guys think employment plays a role in what you're allowed to do outside of work, what you can do outside of work?
It's a good question.
So, which is going to tie into like your Vince McMahon thing, but if there's something that you believe in and that you're vocal about outside of work, and then you come to work and you have to like quiet that, where do you guys think that an employer plays, or like what say do you think they should have in the things that you voice or that you're open about?
I think if you're at work, then it should just be a fair policy. If you say no politics, I think that's fine. I don't necessarily think that you should be saying that you can't have Black Lives Matter, but you could have MAGA or vice versa.
Right.
Outside of work, though, I don't think the businesses should have any say in anything that you do, personally. As a teacher, I know that there's a lot of stuff that I cannot get away with. I have to be very careful about what I put online and everything, which I'm kind of not.
Yeah.
But my Facebook is private. My Twitter is private for the most part, except for my Sports Illustrated account, which is mostly sports related.
Right.
If somebody wanted to call something out, they could. But I don't necessarily, like, if it's not impacting my work, if I don't Like I could see maybe if I have my place of work online, like on Facebook, it says employed by, I could see you maybe having an argument. But if there's nothing that ties me to your business, I don't think you should have any say in what I do outside of work, because that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I always joke with my students, because they're always like, "Oh, you smoke weed, don't you?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." And the reason that I can tell you that is because I don't get drug tested. So if I wanted to, I could.
Right.
But like I could be going home and snorting coke, and as long as I can do my job and they don't know, I'm good. So
absolutely.
But like that's what I think it should be like. Like I don't think it matters. I've worked with alcoholics. I've worked with major super far left, super far right, like whatever. Like I don't care if you shoot guns when you go home. I don't care if you protest. I don't care what you do. If you show up to your job and you do a good job and you don't bring any of that to my business, I think that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. So with that point, do you think that businesses should allow, like for me, I'm on the same page. I think it should be an all or nothing. Like it shouldn't be you just can't wear BLM, and they're not. Like they're basically saying
It sounds like they're across the board.
And I agree with, like, as a business, I think you have to be very, especially in today's atmosphere, you have to be very careful on what agenda you support or don't support. I know if it was me, I would try and be very clean cut about that. Like sports, I think that they're being a little extra with that.
Right.
But like political stuff, like no Trump stuff, no Biden stuff, no BLM, no all lives matter, no blue lives matter. Like I get limiting that. But also at the same point, like, can you let your employees wear what they want as an employee, but be fair to all? So she can wear BLM if she wants to. And if someone wants to wear a blue lives matter, they can. Or should you just nix it all together?
Here, I'm going to take the reins on this one. So basically, I agree with everything Jesse said originally. So here's my reason why I think the better idea is to just nix it all from the start.
Yeah.
You have too many people these days, and this isn't to call them out negatively, but you have too many people who are sensitive. When they see something these days, whether it's Black Lives Matter or whether it's Blue Lives Matter, they're going to look at that and go, well, what the hell? You know, like, what the hell with you? I don't support that. So therefore, I'm not going to come here to this establishment and I'm not going to eat. So therefore, now you're taking money out of the businesses' pockets just because they wanted to take a stand. My opinion is just, nix it all right from the start. Just say, look, we're not going to do this here. You know, it's a company policy. So basically everything is going to be treated equal. Every group's going to be treated equal. It's right there. It ends at the door. Now, when you go home, that's a different circumstance altogether. I don't think any business on this planet should tell you what you can and can't do when you go home. It's one thing if you're posting, like, I don't know, if you're on your Facebook and you're posting you killing animals or posting Nazi memorabilia or something like that, like, you know, that's fine. You can bring it up. But I personally think that bosses and employers looking at someone's Facebook page should be made illegal. I know it's not, but I personally think it should.
Yeah, I agree with that, because, and I can even say, like, when it comes to customer service, I think that's okay. But even if you're in like a desk job, like my wife works in an office where they don't interact with anybody except for people on the phone, like, I think that they should be able to wear whatever they want to do, because you're not representing a business there. Like, I don't think a boss should be able to be like, well, I don't agree with that, so I don't want you having it in my business. Like, I think if that's like free speech, and I don't think you should be able to trump that just because it's your business.
I agree with that.
I think that you're able to, I think it should be that you can present your business in any form or fashion that you want because it is yours. But you don't get to trump people's rights because you get to only see views that you want in your business. I don't agree with that.
I agree with both of you. The only reason so I brought up the do you think they should allow it part, because I agree with you guys. I think just nip it in the butt from the beginning. I don't think that there's a place for politics in employment when you're customer facing.
Right.
To your point, like in your wife's role, like people aren't seeing her, it shouldn't really matter.
Right.
But if you're working, you know, at a bar or something, or like where I work and I'm face to face with clients, then I can definitely understand that. I had some people bring up, well, like if they're not allowing you to wear that, then they obviously don't support that. They're more concerned about making money than caring about supporting a cause that's for equal rights.
It's always going to be a business decision, and there's nothing wrong with that, because they have to look out for their interest first above all else.
I'm like, you don't have a job unless they're making money. So
them making money is not going to take attention from the cause away from Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter or anything like that. Like, they have to look out for them first, because you guys aren't going to. Like, somebody has to.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good question, though. I'd like to hear more audience input like that.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like what you guys said about like work. So I don't think they should have any say, but I think if you have where you work on your, I think if you have where you work listed,
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes a different route because you are at that point a reflection of that place of employment. So like where I work, we have a social media policy on like what we can post, how we can talk about certain things as far as work related. Like I can't talk on behalf of my employer.
Right.
But I also never have listed where I work on here. I don't talk about where I work specifically as far as a company intentionally because
Cedar Point gets really mad about it.
Cedar Point gets pissed when I say bullshit and fuck this and fuck that and all that other kind of crap. So I think that if you do have your employer listed, you're going down kind of a dark road there where I think you can be held accountable. And so Chris, you said you don't think that we should be able to check. I do. I'm gonna be straight up.
Really?
If I'm interviewing someone for employment, I've turned people down based on stuff I've seen on their Facebook.
And I've done that too. But even that though, I don't think that that's necessarily wrong because that's you looking to hire somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And
I want to see who I'm hiring to.
Right.
It's a reflection of me.
When I used to do hiring and stuff, I used to pull up a thing and I would look at your email address before anything else. And if it was something stupid as hell, like one time it was like a dude that was like, it was like devil worship 666 at Yahoo.
Yeah.
And then there was another one that was like blowing trees 420 at Yahoo or whatever. And I'm just
a professional email if you're applying for a job.
Right. And even that, like,
come on,
I don't care what it is. Like, that's just, you're just dumb at that point. Like, why would you put that on there? So that one went directly in the trash. I didn't look at anything else. And I don't think that that's wrong.
Yeah.
But if I hire somebody who seems like they're great for the job and then I find out later that they're going to their Satanist church on the weekend, like, I don't think I should be able to fire them.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree with that.
That's the problem with that law. Like they've already made it clear that employers can do that and they have the right to go and search that.
Ohio is a, what is it? Without cause. I can't think of the actual name, but we can Ohio, you can fire without cause.
Yeah.
I can't think of the actual term,
but it's one of those laws that it's either all or nothing. And the thing is, if they have the power to look on that based on if they hire you, they also have the right to do that if they want to fire you. So that's the thing. If you want it, the whole thing, you have to take the whole enchilada. Like it can't just be one for one.
Yeah, I'm sure they can. I mean, I don't think that I would have the right to fire someone based on the things that they do outside of work. Like if they, I don't know. It's really tough. I think it's definitely something where if there's a policy in place and you're not following it, then I think at that point you have cause to fire them.
Sure.
I think the social media thing is tough because when you're in a customer facing place of employment, a lot of times they have names.
Mm-hmm.
Someone can, even if it's not me, a client could go and pull you up and be like, well, this fucking guy's on here saying fuck this and fuck that.
Right.
I'm not going to go there and I'm going to complain to whatever that business is about it, you know? So as an establishment, as an employer, if I ran a business, it'd be like, don't put where we work.
You know? Right.
Remember that one person we were screenshotting about where they worked, and I like messaged their employer, and they're like, "Oh, nobody by that name works here." I'm like, "Well, they're saying they do, so you might want to check into that."
I do remember that
because they're making you look real bad. Because I wouldn't want to hire somebody who's out here representing my business that way.
And that's the other thing is, you now are putting yourself as a business and
at risk
because of stuff like that. Not even just because of like the backlash of what they may post.
Yeah.
But if you fire the wrong person that gets to a news organization or something, like for my Satanist example, if that Satanist person goes and says, well, I got fired, and it makes the news, you're going to have all types of people who are blowing down on you going, well, religious freedom, you wouldn't fire a Christian, blah, 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 blah. And it's all of that. And that doesn't matter what it is. It could be somebody saying kill the police. It could be saying somebody support the police. Like on both sides, you're always going to have support, and you are always going to have people that do not want to partake in your business because of that, if you make that action.
I agree. And that's a good point. That's why businesses have to look at it and go, we're wiping everything clean.
Absolutely.
Like there's nothing for no exceptions for anyone.
And it's sad that that's the world we live in. It didn't used to be that way. You can voice what you want, wear what you want.
Yeah.
You didn't have to worry about it. But in the political nature of today, you're fucked. I mean, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Did you guys see the teacher that got suspended, and I'm pretty sure she's been reinstated since, but she had on her, Bitmoji classroom I told you guys about that I did. Well, her Bitmoji person had a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, which is a default choice that you can have. My guy has one on, and I read that story. I was like, well, fuck, they're going to try and fire me.
Right.
But she was suspended initially because a parent saw that and went to the board and they kicked her off, and then she fought it and won.
It's an emoji. It's a bit emoji.
It's a fucking cartoon that's supposed to represent her.
People are weak.
But I don't know, man. I think that teachers should be able to voice any opinion they want as long as they don't try to influence.
Yeah.
Like kids always ask me, they're like, well, Uncle, like, what do you believe? And I'm like, well, I'm a Christian. I believe this. And this is why I believe this.
Yeah.
And it starts a conversation. I think kids should know about certain things. Like, Uncle, what are you, a Democrat or Republican? Well, I've always voted Republican, but right now I don't believe in Trump. And this is why. Like, I'm not going to ever tell a kid you have to vote. I always tell them you have to vote, but I don't tell them who to vote for.
Right.
Like that's the first thing we stress is like when you turn 18, you have to vote, and it's important that you do because your voice matters.
Yeah.
But I've never once told a kid, they know I don't like Trump, but I always tell them like, hey, if you want to vote for Trump, vote for Trump. Just know that you vote for the right reasons and you know why you want to vote for him.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point. So yeah, he brought that up, so hopefully he'll appreciate the conversation. I don't know. It's a tough road. I wouldn't want to be in politics right now, having to make decisions that people have to make. I wouldn't want to be a business owner. It's tough. But with that, Chris had brought up a topic regarding Vince McMahon. You want to fill us in on what the god of wrestling is doing?
Yeah. So basically, let me go straight to the source here. I want to click the article. So according to WWE.com, there was a press release Friday that said WWE talent will apparently have a lot less freedom as it relates to making money and promoting their images outside of the World Wrestling Entertainment. According to an exclusive report, McMahon held a press conference with talent last Sunday and claimed that not only does WWE own the talent stages names, he also claimed to own their real names too. This was part of a call where McMahon was discussing the reinvention of the WWE product moving forward. Now, what this includes basically is all forms of social media. So in terms of like that you can gain money from. So like Twitch, you can monetarily stream on Twitch. A lot of WWE wrestlers do. Cameo is a big one for them too. And the reason why I don't agree with this is because these guys are considered independent contractors. So basically wrestlers live a shitty life. Their career basically is they pay for their own surgeries. They pay for everything. There's no wrestlers union, even though there's been talk of it since 1988.
God damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They are responsible for everything. And when you look at the amount of days that they are on the road, over 300 days a year, and for how much they make, you look at it and you go, well, $1 million isn't a lot of money when you're doing that much work. So to me, these guys have every right to go out and sell their brand. And Absolutely. I think in turn, that will help them get over more with the public, and it will stream bigger toward WWE in the long run, like merchandise sales, stuff like that.
I agree.
What do you think?
So this is where I was trying to tie into like what should your employer have a say in what you do outside of work? And in this point, it's tough because I don't think that they should have the right, but I don't know with contracts signed by a wrestler when you sign up to be a WWE superstar, what are you signing up for? Does Vince McMahon actually own the rights to their entity as a wrestler?
He owns the stage names. I know that for sure.
So like if you're Brock Lesnar, that's his real name?
Yeah.
Or is that his stage name?
Yeah.
If you're The Rock and you go out as Dwayne Johnson.
So yeah, so if you're The Rock and you walk away and you want to go to a different wrestling institution, can you as The Rock, or do you have to change your name?
You have to. Well, see, certain wrestlers have certain advantages. So like someone like a Brock Lesnar or The Rock probably owns their own stage name. If you're, I don't know, who can we use here? If you're Braun Strowman, for instance, you probably don't own it. That's all WWE. And
they like created that image for you.
He has to rename himself when he goes to TNA or whether he goes to AEW. Yeah. He would have to rename himself.
So to this point then, with the Cameo, the Twitch, that thing, whether it contract issue or not, to me, it seems silly for Vince McMahon to limit it because to your point, yeah, he's not getting revenue from that directly, but I feel like it is a revenue stream turnaround because if you really like this person and you're watching them on Twitch or Cameo or whatever, then you're probably going to want to tune into them to watch them on WWE. Or you might want a t-shirt of theirs. Now, I don't know if The Rock, I mean, he's a bad example because he, like you said, he probably owns all the licenses.
He's bigger than this, yeah.
But, okay, so a smaller level wrestler who has merchandise that's licensed through the WWE probably can't sell his own.
No.
But so if they like him and they want his t-shirt, they're going to have to go buy it from WWE. So it's creating revenue from him in the long run. And realistically, they shouldn't. I don't know how he feels he can limit what they do outside of WWE. If it's off the clock, they don't have a match that day and it's their own time, they should be able to do whatever the hell they want.
And two things. One, to jump on your credit here, Vince McMahon, the whole reason he said, he came out later this weekend and said the whole reason that this rule is being put into place is so it's a company-wide benefit instead of just a singular
individual
one. Yeah, so now the company gets their hand in the cookie jar basically, which I think only makes you look worse,
right?
Personally, and to me, WWE is a company that prides themselves. If you watch the product on Monday and Friday nights, they're a product that prides themselves on the WWE universe,
right?
So they have this tight knit relationship with their fans and all that, and will go out of their way to please them, to make them happy, all this stuff. And we're going to cut that off at, during a time when social media is at its peak. I don't think that's a good move.
It just seems silly to me more than anything. I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't watch wrestling personally, but if I'm following somebody on Twitch and Twitter, like you were saying, like nobody is on any of those social media sites watching them that aren't wrestling fans.
Right.
So to your point, like that's all just going to bring you more revenue.
It's all downhill. Yeah.
Like if I lose touch with that person on social media, you're less likely for me as a cat. Like I don't watch it. If Chris retweets something, I'm like, oh, that dude's kind of funny, or that chick's hot, or whatever reason, like that might turn me to watch WWE. That's not there anymore. So you're not going to get a me. You're still going to watch. It's not going to affect the hardcore fan, but like I'm not going to be captured to WWE inadvertently now.
Yeah,
which was a possibility before.
Could you imagine if the NBA said, LeBron, you can't have any social media accounts?
Yeah.
Right. It's just, it's ridiculous.
And the backlash, like there's going to be backlash from this. Like wrestlers are going to stand up, but like the NBA would almost be unanimous just because they have a union. They all stand together.
Yeah.
And that
social
shit wouldn't
media
fly.
is a way just to have that extra connection. And that's what like draws people to like people more or want to interact with them further.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to negatively impact them. I think it seems super silly to me for him to try and to pull that card. Dude makes enough money.
What led to that decision? Like just because of political unrest, or
it's just there's so many wrestlers now, especially on Cameo, that are making like anywhere. I mean, I've seen the numbers there. Some of them are extraordinary, like anywhere between $50 a video to $1,000 a video in Ric Flair's case.
Wow.
So like he sees that, and Vince has always been greedy. It's no secret there. But it's just kind of a way that they can contain things again and, once again, get their hand into the cookie jar. That's what I took from both of his press conferences. I mean, if you can defend it better than that, please, by all means, do it.
That's just smart marketing, though. Like if we all of a sudden, turned into one of the major podcasts of the country or something, like, damn right, I'm going to make a Twitch. I'm going to make a YouTube. We're going to be itemizing up each of these topics into different things. Like this wrestling topic would be a video, and the work schedule would be a video. Like all that stuff would be broken up and turned into profit.
Well, because to me, like this is Ryan's baby. Okay, he was the one that kind of founded this show, pretty much. So to me,
my fucking show.
So
his fucking show.
So to me, if Ryan goes to me and he tells me like, well, I'm offended from that and all that, I'm like, you as a boss or a founder should encourage me as far as my promiscuity, the best that I can do, like the most money I can make and all that. Like I don't see how you even sleep with yourself knowing like that you hindered somebody's monetary opportunity.
You doing well I would think would just benefit us, or me as the show as a whole. Like I don't know why you would want to hinder somebody from doing that. He's going to turn people away. He's going to turn off some of these names, and I don't know what that means for them, but I foresee this becoming an issue.
And he's alienating wrestlers during a time when a lot of the main wrestlers aren't there already because of the COVID stuff.
Right.
A lot of wrestlers, and they've had the opportunity to, Vince has let them, they have the choice to sit at home and not work during this time.
Yeah.
But he's going to alienate even more. They might not ever come back.
Right. It's going to be another XFL, man.
Yeah. Well, it's to the point where like you can become recognizable enough from what you've already done on that platform where you could just be like, you know what, fuck you, man. Like I'll just go and do something else. Like you've got people that blow up and turn into others. The Rock is a perfect example. I mean, it's the most extreme example, but that dude was an injured football player who started wrestling, got famous, and now he's the highest paid actor in the world. Other people can do the exact same thing. What's his name? Isn't the guy who plays Drax, wasn't he a wrestler as well?
Yeah.
Batista.
Dave Batista.
And that's the same exact thing.
Well,
Like people are branching out.
There's a wrestler called Xavier Woods who is a current wrestler under WWE, and he has his own YouTube show called Up Up Down Down. It's a video game show.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that would fall under this, but I think WWE now owns Up Up Down Down, so I think conveniently that'll be swept under the rug.
Yeah.
But Up Up Down Down has over 2 million subscribers last I checked.
Wow.
So like that's the thing. You're right. To your credit, like
Walk away.
they create these kind of things. They can make a stardom out of some other venture and say forget wrestling. Right?
Yeah.
It's not worth putting my body on the
I was
line
gonna say,
for a boss that doesn't appreciate me.
Yeah. Keep your employees happy, man.
Yep.
That's wild. I'm curious to see where it goes. You said they gave them 30 days.
Yeah, the list, that's the one thing I forgot to mention. He said they've got 30 days to delete everything that they have, like, you know, your Cameo, your Twitch, all that. And there's some streams that even I follow. I'm not a big Twitcher like you guys are, but like there's a girl who I absolutely love in wrestling. Her name's Dakota Kai, and she has an awesome video game channel on Twitch.
Yeah.
She's smoking hot. And yeah, so I watch some of her videos.
Yeah.
What's the repercussions if they don't?
Well, he said anywhere between fines to even fired.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
YouTube is a huge moneymaker, man.
Mhm.
I mean, you got guys that if you have a good channel where you can build up over the time, like Binging with Babish is a guy that I love. He's been doing it for a couple of years. All he did was started off by, like, he said, I'm going to cook recipes that I've seen in TV shows and movies. And he made a Krabby Patty video that everybody just blew up from watching. And he's gone ever since. He turned it into, you know, there's a cooking show Thursday. There's a movie show on Tuesday. That dude is valued at close to $4 million now, like 3 years later. And he started off as just like us, guys in his room that was like, hey, you know, I think this might be a cool idea. And he bought some nice cameras and people just loved what he made.
Yeah.
And you're going to take that possibility. Like, it's to the point where the American dream is no longer the work hard, do this and that. It's the get noticed, get followers, because there's so many famous people now. Like growing up when we were younger, like you had stars and they were movie stars and TV stars and musicians.
One name in print.
Now there are people out there, like there are people that haven't heard of Binging with Babish. There are people that there's video game shows that I haven't watched, but those guys, there's video gamers out there and sports people out there and all types of people out there that are making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars with thousands upon thousands of followers. And that could be anybody at this point.
I mean, they're all just every Joe's, you know, that came from,
dude,
where we came
especially
from.
with TikTok now.
TikTok's a huge
TikTok,
one.
there's people left and right quitting their jobs. There's a guy I follow, Mr. Hamilton. He's a teacher. Dude just quit. Turned in his notice. He's going to pursue, he's got like 3.2 million followers on there.
Wow.
And he's going to pursue a career in like voice acting.
Yeah.
So I know what the pay
Just up and quitting his he just quit.
I know what the payout is for YouTube. I don't know what it is for TikTok though.
They get endorsements and then they have things where like they go live and then when you go live, people like send you gifts and it equates to money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of
You
how
can,
like on
buy-
Twitch, you'll get like your little 10 token type thing, which
Yeah.
equates to like 5 cents or
Yeah,
whatever.
That's how it is. So like there's people that will go live every day.
Yeah.
And you as a viewer, you can, you spend $5 and you get 100 pirate emojis. And every time you click it, it pops up on their screen. And as they collect them, then that pirate emoji is worth 5 cents or 10 cents or whatever. So they can make money that way. They're doing sponsorships now. I mean, it's insane. The people on there and the just everyday, no talent people just racking up viewers, man, because they made some viral doing a dance video to like a trend on there. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. And I just think they should have every right to
I mean, great for them.
grab every cent, you know?
It's scary to me to the point of that, like, granted, like to each their own, run with it as long as you can.
Yeah.
But some of these people are young and I'm like, hopefully somebody is there to educate them and walk them through it, because you got literally people that are just dropping everything they're doing, school, jobs, and banking on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's going to be like their career.
Yeah.
Which is wild because it's just trendy right now, but it's crazy. But to Jesse's point, I mean, anybody can do it. I mean, like Casey Neistat's one of my biggest, and he's a decently well-known name right now, but I didn't know about him that long ago. A lot of people still don't even know what that name is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
You don't know him? Yeah. So like, perfect example. And this dude's sole career is YouTube. He has revenues from YouTube, and he's making. They just did an article on him about his new house he just got in LA because he used to live in New York City and he moved to LA. And some like magazine out there picked up and like showed his house. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's a YouTube star. I mean, he's got sponsorships with Samsung, and he had a series on HBO for a little while. But this was a high school dropout who had a kid real young and like literally no education and turned into a YouTube superstar now
for him.
with 10 million followers or subscribers.
It's wild.
You know, so crazy.
Quick question. What's your guys' favorite YouTube channel?
Casey Neistat.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, I love Casey Neistat.
My stuff's so different. I would say it's probably either Binging with Babish or I like this dude named Iceman Isaac, he's a Call of Duty player, but he's just like incredible.
Yeah.
And he's the opposite. Like he's very humble. Like he works full time still. And he like tells his people like, hey guys, like, sorry, I haven't had a video in 3 weeks, but I'm working.
I think
like
that's cool though.
I'm trying to whatever. I'd like to make this my full-time job, but I can't yet. And so it's probably between those two.
Yeah.
What's
Chris?
yours?
Mine is one called Bounty Tank, and it's a bounty hunter that's actually based here in Akron.
What?
Yeah, and he goes around and
I've heard of them.
Yeah, there's
an article about them.
Huge dude, man. Yeah, I've met him before. Dude's super nice.
Coming on the show?
You know what? I should actually. That would actually be a good guest. I will look into
Ask him
that.
to come. That's an awesome under. Do you have a cool job?
Yeah,
I'm a bounty hunter.
Or YouTube.
And he works nights anyway, so probably he's getting up at this point. So
dude, he needs to come on.
That's damn. I will. Okay, good call.
Yeah, you get your favorite YouTube star on, and it would be awesome for the show.
He's my boy, man. That dude, and the video that he goes through, the kind of people that he looks for in Akron. Oh my god!
I saw an article about him not long ago on
Akron Beacon Journal.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I had never heard of him.
Is he like a huge YouTube person or just somebody you found?
He's well, when I first started watching him, he had like maybe it was less than 1,000.
Oh wow,
subscribers. I know that. I was one of the first 1,000.
Yeah.
But now I think he has 750,000.
That's a lot of subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's a big. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's and I don't understand that. There's a girl who used to work out at LA Fitness, and she has LA Fitness in the Falls.
I know who you're talking about.
She has like 1.1 million followers on Instagram.
Does fitness videos?
She does is videos of her doing workouts, and she captions them. Like, so she just does like, basically she's like an online personal trainer. But I mean, this chick, granted she's good looking, and that always helps. I mean,
is there good production values too? That's what I was curious.
It's decent, but it's nothing. It's not movies. It's a phone set up steady of her doing the workout and then overlays like what it is, how many reps, etc. But
you showed it to me. I was not blown away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing crazy, but she's got over 1 million followers on Instagram. She just opened up recently an office in the Northside Marketplace downtown. Like that's her like office location. And she started her own line of like those workout bands. You know, they're like a
stretch band
type thing. And she's selling like thousands of them. She sells out of them. She orders like 10,000 some at a time, and she sells out of them like that.
A day, yeah.
See, but that wouldn't be. See,
that's crazy.
So like, even if like a majority of her subscribers are guys that just think she's hot and all that, guys have a certain limit to how far they'll go. Like only certain guys will be like, well, yeah, I'll buy anything that she sells. It's fine. A majority won't do that. So she's doing something right with her videos.
That's what
in
I'm
terms
saying.
of, you know, creatively.
But they're not that. I mean, it's nothing off the wall. I'll have to pull it up. I'm not. No offense, but
I feel like
unless
a
you
lot
want
of
to sponsor us, I ain't giving you a shout out.
I feel like a lot of
tried.
stuff
You can't
though
get a
is
hold of
like a lot of stuff that's really famous though is not that in depth.
No.
Like Binging with Babish is not. He's got an overhead camera and he films himself head down.
Yeah. And
he's just kind of got like a good voice, I guess, so voice over it. But that's all that it is.
So what do you think it is? His personality then that basically pulls people in?
It's just those people with beards and tattoos, you know, you people.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Lunatics, those guys.
But like,
what do you mean by you people?
He doesn't have a beard. But
that's the one you told me I looked like.
You do, but just because
you're like, you guys got beard and tattoos, and you people all look the same.
He's all tatted. He doesn't have a beard though.
And I remember
maybe
that
he does
episode.
have a beard, but it's not like yours.
Yeah, I remember the episode.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's simple. Simple things get stuff done. Like Cinefix is another one that I really like. They just go over movies and they talk about it, and it's insightful. But I think you just have to have an opinion that's not the
typical
norm.
It's just getting that initial
Yeah.
Jesse.
Same person, basically.
Um,
Andrew Ray.
it's getting that first initial like blow up, and then it just fucking rolls from there.
Yeah.
Once
You
you
just
get
gotta
that
get one thing
good hit,
and then maintain.
you're
Snowball
golden.
momentum.
It's snowballs. So, anyways, this just pulled up before we move on to we'll do locker room, I guess. This just pulled up on my Facebook, but the owner of Jelly Belly, first of all, I thought was Robin Williams when it pulled up. Doesn't that look like Robin Williams?
Oh, that does kind of look like
Does
Robin
look
Williams.
like Robin Williams.
At first, I thought the article was going to be about Robin Williams. The founder of Jelly Belly is getting ready to retire, and he's having his own Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory golden ticket.
Like somebody's going to take over Jelly Belly?
Like he's legit. So if you go to thegoldticket.com and you can
Don't tell people.
Yeah.
No, I want it.
Well, you got to get on there.
Fuck you people.
I want the golden
so you
goose,
go on
Daddy.
to goldticket.com to like enroll in the treasure hunt, and he's going across country right now hiding golden tickets, and you will take over one of his factories.
Wow.
And he's going to send you to like candy school and on like
What?
yeah, bro. That's crazy.
It's probably not dope once you actually get the job.
Maybe not, but that's legit, dude. Jelly
get
Belly,
nothing.
Jelly Belly jelly beans.
Screw Johnny Depp.
That's a big company, man.
Oh, man. That's dope.
I know. He's doing his own freaking Willy Wonka.
You think he's going to kill the people to get it? Like all but one?
That would be pretty cool. Thoughts and comments.
The thoughts and comments of
Chris
Jesse
Kessinger.
do not reflect the Made to Motivate podcast in any way.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man. That's wild. All right.
He created the world's first CBD infused jelly beans.
Oh my god.
I remember when that was a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. That's cool though. I love Jelly Belly jelly beans. So yeah, we can leave Let's Get Social off with that. If you want to own the Jelly Belly Chocolate Factory, thegoldticket.com, and you can go on your own treasure hunt and be the next Jelly Belly.
Put yourself out of business for eating your profits.
Right. Actually, before we do Let's Get Social, let's do Made to Motivate really quick, and we'll have Jesse tell everyone about the Venmo Give Back Challenge.
All right.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
All right.
So I got my every week it sends me an email and tells us about like our listens for the previous week.
Yeah.
So it gives you like the top 3 episodes that were listened to over the course of the last week.
Yeah.
What do you think our top 3 listened to episodes were this past week?
Kobe.
Okay.
Trying to think what we talked
This
about.
is not the
that
Made to Motivate
episode.
topic, but it just came up and I want to know if I just want to go over it really quick.
Ryan,
Okay. Kobe, Ryan, and what? Look, that's one.
the overcoming.
Are you saying Kobe also?
Addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kobe's definitely
Kobe
one.
and Ryan.
And the first episode.
Kobe, Ryan, the first one.
I bet I laughed so hard I farted.
The only one of those that was right was Ryan's,
Oh.
which continues to get and is getting up there and listens. The podcast, obviously, 50th episode one was listened to.
I was going to say that, but
But you know what the other super random one was that got the most listens over the course of the last week?
What?
TikTok leads kids to a dead body. Remember that one?
It's probably been on there long enough that Google's picking it up, and like that's probably still viral.
It's just
like,
such a random one
somewhere.
to pop up as one of our most listened to over the last week. But I love that, though, because that means people are still going back and listening to
Yeah.
older episodes, because that one's from a good amount of time ago.
maybe radio stations are stealing our shit, and then,
Hey,
Side note,
get us the listens. I don't care. We're not getting paid anyways.
one radio station stole 3 of my fucking articles.
Bro, you got to get something going.
They
with
already
that.
reached out to me. I guess they're working on it like from their end because it's happened to every other writer also except for one.
Jeez.
But I already sent out complaints to them.
Write your
There's
own
really
shit.
not much more you can do though unless I wanted to get lawyers involved, and it's just not worth it at
That's
this
just
point.
crazy that you have to keep dealing with that. Like that shouldn't be. You would think that that like copyright stuff was a lot more strict than it is.
And I'm
you
pretty
know?
sure that it's fucking ESPN based on what the one dude told me.
Jesus, man.
Like, write your own shit.
So, Made to Motivate. That's what the show's based off of, man. This is
Venmo Give
kind of our
Back
thing.
Challenge.
Jesse, tell the folks about the Venmo Give Back.
All right. So we feel that we have done such a great job motivating you guys that we want you to give back and Venmo us money because we've been so motivational.
Okay.
Okay.
He kind of got the surface
We'll give him a
level.
little bit.
Did I?
He's close.
Fuck.
So here's the deal, guys. And I made a video specific for this. Maybe I'll insert a clip of it here or something, or I'll at least link it so you can go watch it on our YouTube. But so on 50th episode celebration, one of the things we talked about is what we want to do for season 3. Plans for the show. One of the things Jesse brought up was liking how we used to do like random act of kindness stuff. And through TikTok, real recently, I don't know how long it's been going on, but I had a girl's feed come up where she does a Venmo challenge. And basically what she does is she's just really big on TikTok. She doesn't do like a podcast or YouTube or anything, but she does TikTok. And she asks her followers every week to Venmo her any dollar amount that they want. But she asks for like 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, small amounts. And then everyone that sees the video, if everyone does a quarter, it adds up to a good amount of money. So we want to do the same thing. We're stealing her idea. I don't even know if it's her idea, but we thought it'd be something cool we could implement for our show for season 3, get you guys involved in a give back of our own, and help us give back to the community. So what we're doing is I'm going to have the Venmo information in here. It's MTM Podcast. That's it. If you go on Venmo and you choose send money, just MTM Podcast. Send us 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, $100, whatever it is. And then what we're going to do is at the end of each week, I will post on undetermined as of right now. I don't know if we want to do a TikTok or YouTube, maybe our Instagram, but we'll do somewhere where you can hold us accountable. So I'll post a screenshot of how much money we raised, and then also a video of us giving the money out. So you know that we're actually giving it out. It's not going to us. And the cool thing is that when we do it, whether it's me, everyone, I'm honestly going to allow it. Like any of us can do it. It's like if Jesse's going out someday that weekend, I can like Venmo him the money and he can give it out. Or if Chris is out, like, so all 3 of us can participate. The only thing is we have to video us doing it. And we'll post the video for you guys as well. But we're going to make it clear that the money isn't coming from us. This isn't like
going to
Ryan. I'm not, coming to us, but that I'm not taking the credit for that waitress thing and I'm giving her $100 tip.
Right.
It's coming from our Motivate audience. It's coming from you guys. You are participating in doing this. I don't know if it's going to go well. I don't know if anybody's going to give anything, but I think it would be cool. And to kind of kickstart it off and to kind of get it going and let you guys see how it works and like the responses we get, I'm going to match whatever we raise.
Wow.
For at least the beginning.
Risque.
I'm not going to say I'm going to do it permanently, because if it starts to catch on, I just financially can't afford it. We don't make money from doing the show. But say over the course of a week, we raise $20 from you guys. I'll throw in $20, and then that bartender.
I'll match it.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chris.
Yep.
Fuck, I guess I'll match it. I guess I'll match it.
No, I'll match it.
No, so look, no obligations from anybody. But if it's a bartender or waitress, we go to the barbershop, it's just a cashier at Acme or whatever, they will get all the money. Now, if it's a service industry person, so like I go out to eat and I got to tip them anyways, that will not come from your money. If my tip should be 25% is $10, I'm going to give them the $10 and then still give them the $40 or $50 that we raise. So it won't be dipping into anything from what you guys raise. Just think it'd be something cool to do. I'll again link the YouTube video that talks about it directly, and we'll see what it does. You know, season 3 is going to be from this episode until the end of the year. And then season 4 will kick off in January. If it goes well, we can continue to do it. But as of right now, we're going to just plan on it being a season 3 campaign and see how it goes.
Now, here's a question I have, and you can call me Jesse if you already answered this. But like, so how did they enter to win the money? Like, how would they be?
It's a good question.
Like, do they donate and they're entered in?
So it's not to somebody specific. So it's going, now you can, by all means, send in requests. So, okay, maybe there's a waitress at a restaurant you really like who always does a really great job and you think that they would deserve a really good tip. Cool. If we can make it to that location and they're working or whatever, and we can arrange to do them, we can do that. I don't want it to become a habit where like people are just like calling out their friends to go get the money.
Right.
You know, it's got to be at random. Yeah. It's going to be kind of just wherever we're out that weekend, because I'm probably trying to do it on the weekends. We drop the shows on Tuesday. So
makes sense.
come the weekend, once money's been raised, if you guys go out to the movies on Friday night,
Right.
and
I wonder who the asshole is who does that.
Yeah, but if you go to the movies Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whatever, depending on how much money we're at that point, and you want to give the concession person the tip, it's going to be at random. It's just kind of whatever business we're at that point. So that way it can kind of get spread around to different locations. So it's not going to be kind of like a request for it to go to somebody. It's just as a whole, everyone can give back what they can, and then in turn see the response it has on other people. It's been a tough year. Anything can help, and more so, I think, just outside even like it being a large dollar amount, that kind of thing just makes people feel grateful.
Yeah.
And I think it's a positive thing that you can kind of instill in somebody. So
that's one of my favorite videos on YouTube is when they give them the drive-through workers or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll just give them $100.
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't have that much I can do, but maybe if with your guys' help, we can give somebody $100 tip. How cool would it be to go out to eat and someone gives you $100 tip on a $10 meal?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really cool. So we're looking to you for help. If you want to do it, again, MTM Podcast is our Venmo name. I'll have a QR code and everything linked and set up for you guys. It'll be in the description, and you're going to get annoyed because I'm going to remind you every single week. So,
well, as you should. I mean, otherwise it'll slip through the cracks.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get you guys participating, and if not, then help us out. Anyhow, let's get sports or locker room talk or last word with Jess Young.
Yeah.
Is that where we're on? Or are we on Hollowed Report?
No, we're on sports.
Swung and lined to deep left field. It is gone! 45-40. Run, William, run! 20, 15. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the...
This is locker room talk.
Okay, perfect timing for this topic because I pull up my Facebook and the first post is from Chris. Chris, your fantasy football team's name is Two Horny Dicks?
No, that's Team 2, and it is called Horny Dicks.
Two Horny Dicks.
Two Horny Dicks.
Okay.
Team 2, Horny Dicks.
Mine is Suck My Dicka, and it's a picture of my Dicka.
Are you sucking his two horny dicks? You do blow
you
things.
suck my Dicka.
Oh, okay.
But
you're the blower.
Then I don't have to change the name every single time.
I feel it.
Hi, Beth. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, Beth.
My name's Beth.
But yeah.
Anyhow, locker room talk. What's going on with sports, Mr. Sports Illustrated?
It is my time of year.
Yeah,
officially.
Jesse's time to shine.
Even though all of my articles, for the most part, were basketball related up until Sports Illustrated got involved, and all of that stuff is pretty much lists and history. Football is my favorite. Football is here in only 2 days, once you guys listen to this.
It's crazy.
Thursday, the Chiefs play the Texans. It's going to be an offensive onslaught. And Sunday, regular football starts off.
I never thought we were going to get to this point.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think this was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen.
I really
I
did.
knew it would because the NFL is the most greedy league. And it doesn't matter who gets COVID. They are going to pull people up from the practice squad.
He's not wrong.
They are going to push through. This season will not end. And they've actually been doing pretty good with COVID. They've only had one new case since training camp started, which just so happened to happen yesterday. And it was somebody who had already had it once. So I don't know if that means that they came in contact with somebody or they caught it again, but they've been doing okay with it. They've been doing okay with it.
Didn't our governor say that they would have 6,000 fans in the stand or something like that?
6,000 for Cincinnati and for the Browns, which is about 10%. A little bit less than 10%, actually.
So are they selling tickets?
I guess so.
Are you going?
No.
I wonder if season ticket holders get that first.
Well, see, most season ticket holders already sold their tickets back. I know my dad did.
Yeah, that's true.
We, I don't know how the seating is going to work, how they're going to determine, I don't know if those tickets are going to be more expensive because there's only 6,000 of them. But nobody's going to be doing any tailgating because that's not allowed. And then I'm just not going to go up to the stadium and watch them whenever there's 6,000 people.
Yeah.
I've been in the stadium when there were 30,000 people.
Yeah.
At the 0-16 season, I went late in the year when nobody was showing up, and that seemed so dead.
Really?
6,000 is going to literally feel like you're by yourself.
I kind of feel like a baller. one of only 6,000 people in the stadium. It's completely empty. Sit where you want.
It's going to be bad, man. Like, you think about those December games, though, when it gets really cold.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But at a Bengals game, it feels right at home.
We always go at Christmas. Because that was like one of the things we always do with my uncle. It's cold as fuck, man, but it's fun.
I go to the Browns-Steelers game every single year, and for the longest time, it was always the last game of the season, so it's always fucking freezing. And I love it because it's Browns-Steelers, but there ain't no way in hell I'm going to see the Browns play the Dolphins or the Bengals.
You got to be a sick human being to love going to sit in the cold to watch your team lose.
Yeah.
Fuck you. All right.
Wondered if that one was going to be drawn out.
No, but yeah, so that's cool though. So do the Browns play this Sunday?
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild.
We play the Ravens in Baltimore.
I feel like that's a thing, like a real thing right now.
Yeah, no, it's not a great opener, but
cool.
You never know what will happen with the offseason the way that it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet on it because we never win our first game since 99. It's only happened one time, so I'm not going to put any money on this game, but right now they got Baltimore by 8. Which I think is pretty forgiving.
Yeah, that's not that much, honestly.
That's
not that much. Dude, that's cool. So football on Sunday.
Yeah.
Thursday, but Sunday too.
But yeah, I'm pumped, man. I got my fantasy teams in line. Like, I got my dynasty team. I got my trophy punishment league team.
Yeah.
Chris got his team now.
You just finished up your draft, right, Chris?
Yeah, I got both of them now are in the can.
You got anybody good?
Oh, man, that team I got tonight is phenomenal, man.
Yeah. You guys don't do a league together?
We should.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
I cut down this year just because of everything going on. It's just going to be too much to manage more than 2 teams with like
it is
doing so much at work now since I don't have stuff already prepped and everything.
Yeah.
But
do you have a picture of that belly button ring you had to get for losing?
I do. I have the video also.
You want to show the fans?
No.
That shit hurt.
No, actually.
No.
I was shocked how little it hurt.
Yeah.
We're going to post that on our Made to Motivate Instagram. If you're not following, it's at Made to Motivate Podcast.
If you want to look at my hairy belly button, be my guest.
You can watch Jesse get his belly button pierced for losing in fantasy football.
When I saw the video,
to be fair, it's a 6-man league where every single team is playing elite talent. Like, your worst player is probably like a wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
And that's the only, like, literally every single person. My lineup in that league is, I mean, it's insane. It's Dak Prescott. I've got Alvin Kamara. I've got Derrick Henry. I have Miles Sanders. I have Kenyon Drake. And I have Leonard Fournette, who isn't worth as much now.
He will be when they get injured.
And then on top of those amazing running backs, I also have Michael Thomas, Julio Jones. My worst player is my tight end, which is Darren Waller, who's the number 3 tight end last year, I believe. And then I have the Bills defense. On my bench is where Drake is at, Allen Robinson, Cam Newton, Cam Akers, Kenny Galladay, who was the number 3 wide receiver last year.
Jeez.
Like, it's pretty much a crapshoot. You have to have one player that stands up against the rest. Like, last year, Tom won, and it's because he had Lamar Jackson, and he picked him up mid-season right after he, blew up after like a game or two, and then he was getting 40 points a game. He rode that the rest of the way. He had the 4th best record.
Dude beat you in football and in golf, man. It's a tough friendship.
Yeah, whatever.
Our other league, not the one from tonight, but the other league, we've adopted kind of your guys' wheel.
Yeah.
In terms of the punishment for
Wheel
at
of
the end of the year. Yeah. We've got some good ones already. The punishment that I submitted was the loser we have a photographer friend, and she's going to shoot a calendar full of outfits that we pick that they get to wear.
We have that on ours too. I love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I told my friend Melanie, who's a professional photographer, top of the line, I said, I need you to shoot this. I'll pay you for your time and all that. It's just, this needs to be done. And she goes, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, dude, that's outstanding.
Our punishment this year is you have to take a doll out on a date in public and treat it as if it's a real thing.
No.
And you have to film the entire thing.
Just you in it?
Just you and the doll. Candlelit dinner.
Like,
hell
public place.
Dude, I'm down. Dude, I would do that for free right now. I totally would.
This dude,
just so people think I'm crazy, I'd do it in a second.
I'd do it as a YouTube video for the channel.
Let's do it.
Wow.
You film it.
Dude, that shit's funny as fuck. That's the only thing?
That's the only thing this year.
Just do this one thing.
So last year I was supposed to do the ACT, but that all blew up. So I got my belly button pierced for a couple of days, which I thought was great because it wasn't painful at all. I went into it so nervous, and when it was all said and done, I was like,
yeah, it's not bad.
It's like pressure. It's not even pain at all.
If you had the choice, would you have rather done the ACT though?
No. Like, I'm so glad now that it got canceled because that's 8
Belly
hours
button's-
of my day.
Belly button
true.
skin is soft. Like doing like
Dude.
my nose, hard cartilage, that's way different. Like that hurt.
The belly
Belly
button
button skin though,
I was in and out of that place, signing the waiver and everything in 10 minutes.
yeah.
And
You went
then
to
I
Good
just had
Life?
to, yeah.
Good Life.
And then after that, it was just like, it didn't, I thought it would burn in the shower or something, like open wound. Nope.
Mhm.
Like no pain, no fuss, no muss. 3 days later, pop that bad boy out and it was easy peasy.
Should have kept it.
I considered it, honestly. I thought about it.
This dude.
It was like one of those things where like you get a tattoo for the first time and you're like, fuck, I want more. And I got that and I was like, I could do piercings. Like I'm not a piercings person, but like
Yeah.
I get it now, at least like why some people are just pierced out crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's an addicting thing for sure.
Mhm.
But so sports wise,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that we could go through what we do every year, go through the Browns schedule.
Every year. This is the second time we're ever going to do this.
That's true. That's true.
The second annual.
The second annual picking of the games.
Well, at the end of the
did
season, we went through
awful
it.
last year. So let's do it. Let's do the Browns schedule.
Let's do the Browns schedule. So week 1, Sunday, we have the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore.
Loss.
I'm going to say loss also. We never win our first game. They're coming back with the same scheme, same players, same coach. We're coming in with a new coach, new scheme, new players.
Stefanski, man.
Bad defense for the Browns this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that we're going to lose that. So we're 0-1.
0-1.
Week number 2 is only 4 days after that. Thursday night game against the Bengals in Cleveland.
Win.
I say we're going to
I'm
definitely win that
I'm
game.
giving it a loss.
You think we're going to lose to the Bengals? Joe Burrow hasn't shown shit yet. He's going to have to face an elite pass rusher.
I think it takes, and this isn't hating, I just think it takes the Browns a little time to get their like routine going.
Sure.
And especially with this crazy, weird offseason.
Yeah.
It could be, I think it's going to be close, but I'm still giving them a loss.
To your credit, 4 days is a short turnaround.
Mhm.
It's a very short turnaround, and I was a little worried about that initially.
And coming from traveling. You know, it's not far.
Mhm.
4-day turnaround after an away game.
All this COVID shit too.
And everything going
all the
on.
But then on the same breath, the Bengals have that same 4-day turnaround,
Oh,
and they
that's
have
true.
to come to Cleveland, which is not far. It's
Yeah.
Cincinnati to Cleveland, but
Still like 4 hours.
they've
3
got a new
hours.
quarterback.
Yeah.
They weren't that great to begin with last year. I mean, look what happened.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to develop him the way that you normally would be able to because
Yeah.
COVID has had training camp and everything else.
I agree with you.
Wild.
It's 1-1.
So,
1-1.
yeah.
I'm going to say 1-1. The week after that, we're still at home. We face the Washington football team.
Win.
And they're fucking god-awful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's a win.
horrible. They won't win 4 games this year.
Nope. And they just traded away Adrian Peterson, who, even though he's 35 years old, was like
the Lions.
He was the one good dude. So in my dynasty league, I have DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson, and then he went there. I already had AP. So I was like, God damn it, you have fucked 3 running backs in one move.
You're covered.
All right. So I got that a win as well.
So we got 2-1.
2-1 for me too.
The next game, Chris, you are invited over to my home
Cowboys.
because we were playing the Cowboys in Dallas.
Cowboys win. 2-2.
Cowboys are probably going to win that game.
Yeah.
Cowboys
that's
are
a
good.
win.
If that was at Cleveland, I would say there's a chance.
That's a win for the Cowboys.
With the Cowboys, there's always one,
Mhm.
but I don't know if it comes that early in the season. Usually you guys are midway through, late in the year. You lose something stupid.
Yeah.
So
Lose to Arizona or like something like
or
that.
like Washington or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
So I got us 2-2.
Same.
Next week, we're back in Cleveland. We face the Indianapolis Colts. I think that they are going to be a weird team this year.
That's a
I think they're going to
dangerous
be
game.
they're going to be a 500 team. They're going to have those weeks where they go out with Phillip Rivers and they look great, and then they're going to have weeks where it's Phillip Rivers and T.Y. Hilton of the past and they're nothing. I think we're going to win that game, and I think we're 3-2.
That's a tough one, man.
Because they lost to the Cowboys, they're coming off a loss to Dallas. I think they rebound in this game and barely squeak one out against the Colts.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really
I
close
think
win.
it's a hard fought game, but I think 3-2. I think they pull it out. Maybe even a last second field goal.
Yeah, I'm giving them a win on that.
The week after that, Ryan, you are not invited to my house because fuck the Steelers. But we are in Pittsburgh.
The loss.
I don't think so.
See,
The loss. Big Ben's back.
Ben is back, and his
Big
reports
Ben's
are
back in
good.
the saddle, man.
They say that he's looking healthy. He's making all the throws.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, I
He
haven't
doesn't
seen him
look
throw
like
yet.
the fat POS he looked like in the
No,
offseason.
for sure. He looks thinned.
He looks
I
good.
I don't know, man. A guy coming off of that injury,
know.
they say they come back stronger from it,
Mhm.
but
He's going to be hesitant.
he's old.
Yeah.
here's my thing. I
I'm
think
giving him a win, though.
I'm giving Steelers this one. I think they're going to split. But I'm giving Steelers this one. I think, though, the Browns are going to finish with a better record.
Okay.
Okay.
3-3.
Here's my biggest thing is even with Ben there, Their main target now is Juju Smith-Schuster, who in the past, I've been looking up some advanced Pro Football Focus stuff on him. He is one of the lowest rated wide receivers in terms of getting off of their press coverage and getting away from a guy.
Yeah.
He has to be in the slot. And we don't know if Deontay Johnson or James Washington or any of those guys are going to be able to fill that role on the outside that Antonio Brown created.
Yeah.
And if they can't, people are going to be all over him the entire time. He's not going to be able to get open. I don't believe in James Conner.
Wow.
I don't know. The dude's injury prone. He's not that great. He had one good season. He hasn't really done anything since. I believe in Ben to get the yardage. I believe in them to be
that. I believe
decent.
in Ben.
I've always respected Ben.
I think Ben can move the ball. What worries me about Pittsburgh, honestly, and I don't understand why they're ranked so high, is their defense.
Their defense is fantastic on
Really?
paper. That's what they're saying. They just re-signed Cam Hayward. TJ Watt is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's up there with Myles Garrett in terms of I think those two are arguably could be the top 2 pass rushers in the league going forward.
They couldn't keep flies off an ice cream cone last year, man.
Yeah, they've definitely got some issues.
Yeah.
Like Sean Davis at safety now. I'm not really sold on that yet. But their scheme and everything else, they are projected. I know in fantasy, they're projected to be the number 1 defense.
Yeah, they're tops.
And in other places, they're saying that they could be just the number 1 defense overall.
Wow.
Okay. So you're giving them the win?
I'm going to give the Browns the win on this one for sure.
I'm 3-3.
For me, I think that they're going to split also. But I think that if it all kind of depends on whether or not the Browns continue their ways or not. But the Steelers historically are not going to go late in the season if they have a chance and lose those games where you need to win, where the Browns are more likely to choke based on history. So I'm going to give them that early one. Week after that, we return, face the Bengals again, this time in Cincinnati. I got a sweep in them this year. I think they're going to win 5, maybe 6 games. I don't think they're any good.
4 in the win on that one.
4-3.
4-3. So then we are back in Cleveland. The Las Vegas Raiders come across country to face us.
Ooh.
And this is another team similar to the Colts where they have the pieces with Henry Ruggs, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs. He's going to be more involved.
Yeah.
All these people, I don't really believe in them.
It's a long travel. I'm giving the Browns the win.
And that's what I was basing it on too. I'm like, that is a long trip. See, this is what sucks for the Browns when they used to go to the West Coast. They did it last year.
Steelers always lose to the Raiders for that reason because they had to go across the country.
That's a long trip.
Yeah,
man.
I'm giving the Browns the win on that.
Yeah, I'll go 5-3.
So 5-3 at this point. Halfway point of the season, we're 5-3. We're on the way to the playoffs.
I got it at 4-4 right now.
Okay. Week after this, we have the Texans in Cleveland. I am going to say that it's a loss, but I do not think that this is a unwinnable game.
Yeah.
If we're at 5-3, we've got momentum.
It's in Cleveland?
It's in Cleveland. Houston has a great offense, but there's a lot of turnover. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins anymore. They've replaced him with Brandon Cooks. Will Fuller could very well be injured and done at this point in the season for historical purposes. Deshaun Watson is amazing. J.J. Watt is amazing, but just like Fuller, he could not be playing. Their defense is not projected to be very good. It all just kind of depends on the momentum of the season.
I think
I'm giving it to Cleveland because it's late enough in the season at this point. They start to kind of get their rhythm going. Yeah, I'm going to give that one.
Do you think Houston's a playoff team this year?
I think it's going to be. I think the game can go either way. I playoff team absolutely. I think
Browns just have a wild card team behind Tennessee.
Yeah, Browns just have that weird come up where they have games they win or they shouldn't. In mid-season, they start to get their rhythm. I think that they could pull it off, especially I'm giving them a loss the week before. I'm going to give them that one.
Last year we won 6, and the year before that we won 7. So it's not like we lose all of our games anymore either.
No.
That puts them with that win, I have them at 5-4.
I'm actually going to go the Texans on this one because I think I think this is going to be that game. There's always that one for Browns every year where they go we should have won that game. That's ridiculous. I think Cleveland's going to lead big going into halftime. I think it probably maybe by 20 points as much. I think the Texans storm back in the second half and win the game. I'm going 5-4.
There's very good potential for that.
We're all 5-4 because I got the Texans beating us also. I believe in Deshaun Watson more than Baker at this point.
Yeah.
Even if Baker plays like he did his rookie year, Deshaun Watson's better than that at this point of their careers. So
for sure.
I always bank on those quarterbacks.
Okay.
Week after that, we're still in Cleveland. Philadelphia Eagles
Ooh.
come to Cleveland.
I'm giving that to the Eagles.
I
man.
hate the
I know you
Eagles,
do.
man.
Oh, trust me, you're preaching to the choir.
I'm giving that one the Eagles, though.
Can I root for the Browns and just hope that the Eagles choke?
Yeah.
See, the Eagles, to me, it's 50-50 because I don't think they're going to win the division this year. I think their best they can hope for is the wild card. And I'm still not a believer in Carson Wentz. Like,
Neither am I.
everybody has said this kid is like the future. He's got one of the highest quarterback contracts, and I think it's undeserving right now. This is another one of those close games. Oh, fuck. I'm going to go Eagles, 5-5.
Eagles.
I'm going with the Browns.
Okay.
Like you said, I don't believe in Carson Wentz. Their wide receiver core is a shell of what it used to be.
It's horrible.
They're banking everything on I can't think of his name now.
Don't say back. Jeffrey because he's gone.
No, they're running back. I have him.
Yeah. Shit. 26.
Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
And Miles Sanders was great last year, but he only had 800 rushing yards, 500 receiving. He didn't play the entire season. They're saying he might be the next coming of Christian McCaffrey, but it's just banking on that, you know? Defense isn't what it was. I think the Browns at this point, if they're 5-5, or what do we have them at? 5-4 before this game?
I have them at 5-5 with the Eagles.
So
winning
5-4 going into this game. I think that they're looking at this game. You're solid. You're on point. They've got some problems on their end as well, and we got more weapons.
They got to win this game to prove that they belong.
We have 2 better running backs. We have a much better wide receiver core. I think it's going to be the 2 offenses, and I think Myles Garrett wreaks havoc in these games. So I'm going to say that we are 6-4. You guys are 5-5.
Okay.
Week after that, we go down to Jacksonville, face the Jaguars.
Win.
I think that we win too, but I think that the Jaguars are going to be a little bit of a surprise this year. I don't think they're going to be complete dog shit. I think that they, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be great by any means, but I don't think that they're going to be like a bottom barrel team. I think that they're going to be in that 20-ish range. They'll be better than most.
6-5.
I got them at 6-5 as well.
So I'm at now at 7-4. Next week we are in Tennessee. They're going to beat us.
Awesome. Yeah.
Tennessee has an elite defense. I think that Tennessee is going to have the best defense, and I thought that before they had Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
I think that Tennessee is outstanding. I think Derrick Henry is incredible. I believe in Ryan Tannehill to manage games. I think A.J. Brown is an up-and-coming superstar, and their coach is incredible. He's going to be the next
Vogel.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be Bill Belichick level of great, because that's, saying a lot of stuff.
I say that's saying a lot.
But I could see him being like a Andy Reid, Ron Rivera, coach of the year candidate at some point in his career, maybe even win a Super Bowl at some point. He's fantastic.
I'll tell you why I'm a closet Titans fan, at least from last year. They won me $50.
They won me money too, man.
Yep.
$50.
Are you 7-5 then?
I am now 8.
I'm
6-5.
I'm 6-6. They lost to the Titans.
7-5. I can't do math.
I'm not a math teacher.
I'm not a math teacher.
7-5.
Ravens
4 games
come
left.
back now in Cleveland.
Awesome.
Ravens.
I'm not saying they're sweeping us.
I'm giving it
We've split the last 2 years, and goddamn it, we're going to split again. I've got them losing this first game. They are not going to lose it again.
I got 6-7.
Lamar is going to get figured out by people this year. We've now got a season and a half. We had an entire season seeing their scheme. He's not going to run wild for 1,300 yards again. It's just not going to happen. And say it with me, guys. Lamar Jackson can't throw. Say it with me. Lamar Jackson can't throw. He's not going to do it.
This could all change, and he gets injured in week 1, and then the Ravens are done.
Plus, people want to act like Earl Thomas leaving that team is not a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
That is an elite player, and I don't think that defense is going to be as incredible as they say it is. So
I got him at 6-7.
Same.
Now I have him at 8-5.
Yeah, good job.
Now I got him at 8-5. And boy, do we finish this season with some doozies.
Uh-oh.
Tough.
No,
easy.
In New York, 2 weeks back to back. First one is the Giants, and then we face the Jets.
Win-win.
Win-win, right?
Geez, yeah.
The Giants are god-awful. They're going to be a bottom-of-the-barrel team.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you got Saquon or not. Daniel Jones.
I think they're better
ain't
than
getting it done.
Washington, though. I do think so.
Probably because I think Jones is better than Haskins, but it ain't much better.
No.
I mean,
I'm talking
those
like
are
4
easily
wins,
the
5
2
wins.
worst teams in the league.
Hmm.
I mean, there's some arguments to be made elsewhere if I probably sat down and looked at it, but those 2 pop off the page.
8-7.
I've got him at 8-7 also.
I've got them at 9-5.
No, you were.
That's
you should
solid.
Be 10 because you were.
I was
2 games.
8-5.
You're 10 and
10 and
5.
5. 10 and 5. Yeah.
That's a solid. There ain't no way they're going. What's the last game
It's
of
really
the
not
season?
that much, though.
Steelers.
Yeah. And
I'm
just
down to bet on
just
this,
to
just for
speak
the
on the
record.
Jets. The Jets are an iffy team. They're up and down all the time.
They're better than the Giants, but they're not much.
Yeah.
And then the Steelers, I said that we split with them, so I gave us the first one. I say that we finished the season 10-6.
This is the Cleveland game, right?
This is in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Last game of the season at 9-5, or
I'll give them it.
at 9-6.
9-7.
I'll give them it.
No, 10-5 going in. You guys are 9-6 going in.
I'm 8-8.
Okay.
9-7.
Playoff implications for all records, though. We can probably bet that the Steelers are close by with that, even if they're not in the hunt. They got to be close behind. So this is going to be a high-profile game. Really matters for the playoffs. Possibly either one that wins could get in, and the Browns make the playoffs at 10-6 this year for the first time.
What did you give them last year?
Since 2000.
I think you were the same thing last year.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you were 10-6 last year.
I was 10-6 last year.
But
But
they had what, 7 wins?
they had 6.5.
It's not looking good, bud.
To be fair,
What's half? Was there a tie?
there was a tie. We tied with the Steelers.
Yeah.
So they had 6 wins.
So
Yeah, the half doesn't count. It's not a win. It's not in the win column.
that's how it counts in the standings.
Yeah.
When somebody asks you how many wins did they have,
So
you say 6.
This guy.
I started looking into a couple of things, and this is one of the reasons why I think they're going to be really successful. They ran the ball really well last year.
For sure. Chubb's a beast.
Stefanski runs a very similar outside run that Kitchens ran. The problem was Kitchens just didn't run that much.
Yeah.
We were running only on like 36% of our plays.
He's a horrible coach, like above all else.
But even worse than that, Baker had a record-breaking year his rookie year. Everybody thought that he was incredible going into the offseason. He broke the rookie touchdown record. He threw for like 3,600 yards in 13 games. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Comes out the next year, throws a ton of interceptions. He still had great yards. He still threw 26 touchdowns, I think, which is respectable. But just big game blunders and stuff. Wasn't getting the ball going. The line has been shored up. We've added a young left tackle that was supposed to be one of the best in the draft
They
class.
need some help on
We
that line.
added Jack Conklin to the right tackle spot. He was 24th, I believe, in time and pocket and pressures last year. So he was just getting chased, running for his life.
Didn't look comfortable either, for sure.
Odell was injured the entire season, still had 1,000 yards. Jarvis Landry was injured midway through the season, still had, I think, 800 yards. We've added
Hooper.
tons of, tight end talent. You've got Hooper, and then they've got, what's his name? Henderson, I believe, something like that. He's a young rookie tight end. He's been killing it in camp. They've been saying he was the best player in camp, not just rookie in camp. It's been amazing.
They're going to run a 2 tight end set.
Stefanski runs more 2 tight end sets than anybody in the league, and that's why they're keeping 5 tight ends on the roster.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we only have 6 linebackers, but 5 tight ends.
Whatever happened to Njoku?
He's still there.
Is he there?
He demanded a trade initially. He came back on those statements. There's been rumors that he's going to get traded, but I don't think he's going to. But I say all of that because when you look back at Baker's entire career to this point, last year and the half year before that, the majority of his positive plays, yardage, touchdowns, effectiveness, passer rating, all of that stuff, it all comes off of 2 tight end sets and play action.
Yeah.
In those, he was top 6, I believe, in passer rating, touchdowns, and yardage off of those types of plays when they ran them. We ran those plays the 4th least out of everybody in the league last year because Freddie Kitchens is a fucking idiot.
He's a horrible coach. Like, I say, like, a lot of people talk about Hugh Jackson. I think Kitchens was the worst coach they had since the comeback.
There's an argument
What's
to be
he doing
made.
now?
He, I think, is in New York. I think he's with the Giants, I believe.
And I just want to say, when that happened, when they signed Kitchens to be the coach, I told everybody, I said, this is a horrible idea. You're doing this just to make Baker happy. You don't hire with the quarterback in mind. You hire as a team, as a whole team. Yeah. It's a horrible decision, and they let the only guy go who probably should have been the head coach.
Yeah. I thought that Yeah, I initially said I didn't have a problem with it because he ran the offense, and the offense was incredible those last 10 weeks. We were like top 5 in efficiency and scoring, and our red zone was like top 3. But yeah, I didn't think the defense would be that bad, and I didn't think that he would get away from the things that made Baker great.
Yeah.
As soon as he showed up, we started running 3 wide, shotgun sets, no empty backfield, like all this other stuff, and they traded away half the line.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It didn't work out.
The other half fell to injury. Shit.
Right.
There was nothing. There was a piece of paper holding him up.
So, I don't know. There's nothing to say that Stefanski's going to be any better, but based off of his track record, dude runs a lot of 2 tight end sets. Baker does well with that. He runs a lot of play action. He knows how to utilize running backs. He had Dalvin, who is very similar to Hunt, but you've also got Chubb on top of that. I think Hunt's going to get utilized a lot. I think they're going to be a surprise. I don't know if we're going to be a top 10 offense or anything, but as long as they can be efficient and let the defense rest, our front 4 is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Our back 7 is trash. Our linebackers are going to be one of the worst in the league, and outside of Denzel Ward, we have nothing behind us, especially since Delpit got hurt.
And you said playoffs. So do you think do they win a playoff game? Do they just lose in the first round?
They'd be going in as a wild card team.
They might be able to host at 10 wins, maybe.
Not with Baltimore. Baltimore will beat
true.
them out.
Well, no, I'm saying host the first round because if Baltimore's a top 2 seed,
they get the first round bye.
They would be hosting a first round game.
I don't think that you can though because it's a wild card. So even if you're the wild card with a better record, you wouldn't host over division winner.
Yeah, because the division winner gets the bye. Oh, it's new rules this year. That's right. A new playoff format, right?
Well, your top 2 seeds get the bye.
Yeah.
But then you still have division winners. You have 4 other teams going into that ahead of you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now that you're saying that.
There's a new format this year. I have to look at that again.
Yeah, you got me on the spot.
The old way, though, if Baltimore was a top 2 seed, they would get a bye in the first round. Cleveland could still host a first round game.
Yeah.
At second place.
If they make it, they're not going. I mean, they might make it, but I don't.
There's a lot of teams in the AFC. It's really hard
They're
to
going to
tell.
squeak in if they make it. I don't see them winning the first round.
They're at that 6-7 mark.
I don't think that we beat Tennessee. I don't think that we beat Baltimore in the playoffs. I don't think that we beat who else would be in the playoffs?
East.
The Chiefs. You're not going to beat.
What about the East?
You could beat somebody coming out of
I
the
think
East.
Buffalo's winning it this year.
I was about to ask you guys who's going to Super Bowl this year.
Oh, Super Bowl?
Chiefs are going back.
Yeah, unless
Who are they
Mahomes gets
playing?
injured, that's the only thing I could see stopping that train.
I want to say the Saints, but they've had so many chances over the last 3 years to get there, and a couple times they were screwed, but last year they just lost.
Yeah.
I don't think that Tampa Bay's ready. They might go next year. I don't think that they're going to be able to put all those pieces together and make a winning team right away, even with Brady.
I'm going Seattle.
Seattle versus
Seattle KC.
Chiefs.
Seattle's not a bad choice.
I just think the NFC, it's always one of those teams that you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. It's
Yeah.
always the Rams. It's always the who was it last year against the Chiefs?
49ers.
Yeah. I'm like,
I think the 49ers could make it back too.
think so?
They have a great defense.
I'm calling.
I'm going to probably go.
calling Niners don't make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's a hot take.
Yep.
That's a hot take.
Jeez.
I'm going to say I'll agree with you with the Seahawks, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay could go.
You're saying Niners aren't making the playoffs?
Playoffs. Nope. You heard it here first.
Jeez. Okay.
Historically, teams that lose the Super Bowl have not rebounded in the last 5 years. The Rams were the same way. They lost
Like
the Super
not even
Bowl
playoffs?
and did not make the playoffs the next year.
And nothing about
That's
Garoppolo makes me a
crazy.
believer. Nothing
Wow.
about him makes me a believer.
I'm a 49er fan.
I don't mind the 49ers, and I'm a Cowboy fan, but I don't mind them. I was happy they made it last year. I got a buddy who's a huge Niner fan,
Yeah.
but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
I'll
Seattle.
say Green Bay. I'll lock in Green Bay for
Okay.
the NFC.
Yeah, I think unless Mahomes gets injured, nobody's stopping Kansas City.
I'm saying Steelers, Saints.
Not happening.
Wishful thinking.
I like the Saints pick. It's not bad.
Steelers, Saints.
Drew's last ride.
Do you think he's out?
Yeah, after this year, he's definitely gone.
Jameis will be there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Jameis is taking over.
Yeah.
I think Jameis is good.
We'll see what happens with sports, man. I mean, I'm just shocked that football's back. Like, have you guys been watching any of the NBA?
Yeah, I watched a little.
Last night was the first Lakers game that I've missed. I've watched
really?
every Laker playoff game, and I've seen
They won last night, didn't
a
they?
few games here and there.
Even
Yeah.
the series.
They tied it up.
Yeah, 1-1 now.
I think they beat them like 1.
Oh, that's right, because they're in the second round at this point.
It's like 117 to 109 or something like that. Like they won by a
They're
decent amount.
playing the Rockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Clippers, Nuggets tonight, and then the Celtics,
Rockets
Raptors.
won last year, right?
No,
They won last year.
the title.
Yeah,
The
they won
Raptors.
championship.
Raptors.
Raptors. That's what it is. That's
They
right.
beat up Golden State.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Raptors, man, they fell down 2-0 to the Celtics, and now they've stormed back, and they've even the series too. I don't know what happened in the game today.
How about Milwaukee? About to get. I mean, they almost got swept by the
They
Heat.
should have gotten swept.
They
Yeah,
should have
right.
got swept.
Yeah, they're out.
I think that was very telling of Giannis. I love Giannis too. I'm a big Giannis
too.
fan, but goddamn, man, how do you not go out there and finish out your series?
Dude, you can't rely on them bitch ass white boys.
Giannis isn't white.
By the way, the
I was thinking of Dodanovich or whatever his name is from the last episode.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Celtics won. It's 3-2 Celtics.
Yeah,
Over the
I got the Celtics beating them, but I called Lakers over Portland in 5. They did it. I had originally the Lakers over the Rockets in 5, but I didn't expect for them to lose that first game. I don't know if they sweep the rest of the way through, so I'll probably change that to 6, but it ain't going 7.
It seems like it takes a game for the Lakers to get things together and roll with the momentum and understand their opponent.
Yep, and that defense is elite whenever they're all working together.
You still think that they're going to win it?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Absolutely.
That was your pick, yeah.
Yeah, especially now that Milwaukee's out. They were the people that I thought had the best chance out of the East to beat them.
Yeah.
If they get through the West, ain't nobody in the East that's going to beat them.
I don't think on the East. I'm just concerned, do they make it all the way through the West?
Clippers haven't been
That was
like
my
a
pick.
dominant
Yeah,
team.
They're not looking great.
They've been okay, but they've lost a couple games here and there. What are they? They're 1-1 against the Nuggets right now.
Yeah, game 3's tonight.
So I don't know.
Whatever happened with the sitting, not playing? They just
pushed it down the line.
so stupid.
Yeah, and everybody came
And
back.
like I said,
and-
like you do that for one game and then go back to normal, it makes you look stupid because nothing changed in that one game you protested.
They have done some things, like they have the owners opening up the stadiums for voting, and they've been pushing messages even further and doing stuff in their communities and stuff. But yes, as for the casual person who's not watching the NBA, though, it doesn't look like they really did anything, and it's dumb.
That's what I was concerned about. Whatever.
But yeah, that's sports.
Cool. We'll finish off with Hollywood Report. Chris has got a couple
juicy details.
Juicy. Like a whop.
The thoughts and comments.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down! Two teams assemble!
Hollywood Report. Should we start it with what we all did last Monday and why we missed the show?
We can do that.
Let's do that.
Let's save the most important for last. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A certain guy we want to discuss.
Yeah.
His career.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yes.
we'll save the best for last.
Yes. So the reason we missed the show last Monday, or we didn't record, one, because I was still taking my goddamn time editing the 50th episode, but two, the three gents in two separate theaters went and saw Tenet. It finally happened. We saw Tenet.
Can't believe it.
I sat there for 10 minutes after it ended and just sat there, literally just dumbfounded, awestruck, confused.
If you said you understood that whole movie, you're a liar.
No. I got to watch it several more times. There was definitely things that I took. Me and Dan went, and there was definitely things he had questions about that I caught on to that I explained to him about certain things with it.
Did too, yeah.
I loved it. I really want the soundtrack because God, the music.
Yeah.
The one reason that I said I would wait to see it in theater rather than home, and I'm glad, was just the fucking sound, man.
Ludwig Göransson is a
It
genius.
was amazing. Initial just quick thoughts. What were you guys? What did you think?
For me, technical wise, Christopher Nolan is a master of his craft. I mean, the editing, the sound, the the technical effects that were all practical, that were all done, without any special effects as far as computer generation goes.
Yeah.
Superb. I loved the acting. I thought Pattinson stole the movie personally for me.
Yeah.
And that's not just because he's one of my 5 favorite actors. I thought he had a lot of charisma.
He did good. He did.
He's
came
one of your
off-
5 favorite ever, or right now? Okay.
Right now.
He came off more as the main than I expected.
Yeah.
The main role. I didn't in the previews, it didn't come off to me that he was going to be that big of a role.
And that's not to say Denzel's boy was like, underwhelming or anything. It was just, I felt like one of the biggest handicaps of the movie was obviously there was no characterization, and this weighed heavily on his character more than anybody else.
I get that.
He
was just kind of like thrown in there, but you didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, like if I don't understand his motivation for every decision and all that, the only thing I learned about him was he's dedicated. He's willing to die for a cause.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I learned about him.
I agree.
But yeah, the technical mastery was beautiful. I missed some things on the exposition that I'm sure I'm going to have to go back and hear, but I think a lot of that goes on the sound effects or the sound mixing, which is boisterous at times. It kind of overrides on the thick accents, and which are already hard enough to decipher on their own.
The music was intense. The sound effects were super intense.
Yeah.
It was at some points like overwhelming.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but I liked it.
I enjoyed it too. What about you, Jesse?
That was the first thing I said leaving the theater, which you were like, I said the same thing, because there's a ton of it where you cannot hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I paid attention like tight.
No, there was times where I was like, I had to really just be focused on like trying to decipher what was going on.
Yeah.
And my dad even called me after he went and saw it and was like, I gotta wear my hearing aids or something in there because I couldn't tell what they were saying. And I was like, yeah, it's actually just the movie. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
But I mean, just being in the movies was awesome for me in terms of just like an action film and stuff. It was great. I've been rewatching all the James Bond movies because
the new one's coming
out. So
excellent,
a lot of
awesome.
those, there's stuff where you can miss it if it's not something that you see really quickly. If you look away for 1 second, you can be like, how the fuck did they end up here? And it's, kind of have to figure some things out as you go.
Yeah.
And this kind of gave me the same vibe as that. But overall, I thought it was great. The visuals and stuff were insane. There's some stuff where I have no idea how they did it, because there's stuff in movie magic that I don't understand as it is, like how they splice certain things together and like that type of stuff to begin with.
Yeah.
But to do it on this scale where you've got one car driving one way and another one wrecking in reverse right on screen with it.
Dude, the fighting in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they actually learned to fight in reverse for some of that.
I was going to say some of that was practical.
And speak backwards too. Yeah. And that's the thing is like the way you see this, because it's two different people in the fighting. So like you watch it one way in one angle and you see a fight and how it plays out and everything, but then you see it from the other person's vantage point and it's completely different. Like it doesn't look anything like the fight you just watched.
Yeah.
So it's strange how he can switch that up. And I thought the IMAX cameras did a huge service to, to the action and to the choreography of the fights.
Once it hit the midpoint where now you're on the back turn of everything.
Yeah.
Is when like my mind kind of just got blown.
Yeah.
Just now rewatching everything that happened, not realizing who they were.
Right.
So without spoilers, like the hallway scene on the second back turn down, not realizing that who those characters were the first time around.
He called it. I did not.
Bro, like that. And then like on the highway, the car that was in the middle of the two cars and then realizing who it was when it was going backward.
Right.
It was just crazy how they played all that side by side and like integrated it all. I loved it. I want to see it like 2 or 3 more times to really like digest everything that was going on.
Yeah.
One thing that I took away that like from the trailer and then watching it, like I felt misled, and it could have been just naivety from me. But like in the trailer, when they showed the scene of him coming up the wall, when I watched the trailer, I thought he was climbing up the wall, and I didn't realize it was the bungee.
Yeah.
Like I didn't catch that in the trailer. Obviously,
I did see that.
I didn't see it. So I was like, man, that's crazy. How's he like walking up the wall? And then obviously you see the movie. And
See, when I saw the trailer,
you see he's kind of
I totally missed that.
Yeah.
when I saw that trailer, I thought that it was going to be that they were repelling, but then it was inversed and they were repelling like in reverse.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just a bungee.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was good though. I really liked it. What did you do a review?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Your crazy backwards wild review. You gave 8.5.
It's about 10. I gave it an 8. If I still gave halves, it would definitely get an 8.5 from me. But because I give it an 8, people think, oh, he didn't like it. Like,
no, 8's a good review.
8's great, guys. I gave it a B plus. It's great. But Nolan has so many classics that you can't measure this as his greatest feat.
No,
I was going to ask you where do you put this in terms of Nolan's movies?
First watch, keep in mind, I have not watched it a second time yet. I like The Prestige more. I like Inception more. I like Interstellar more.
Oh yeah, Interstellar definitely more, and I think Inception more for sure.
It's fourth. Oh no, Dark Knight.
Oh yeah,
I put the Batman movies on the side, just because I love them so much from my own bias and entertainment value.
I don't think I've seen Prestige.
This is
Oh,
better.
Prestige is
What's the
great.
Prestige?
Prestige. My
Two
favorite.
magicians
Yeah.
rivaling over like
Christian
a.
Bale
I've
and Hugh
seen
Jackman.
Oh
I'll let you borrow it.
Don't look
Yeah, I
up
need to see
anything about it before
No.
you watch it.
Okay, I gotta watch it. Is it on like Netflix or anything?
It
Amazon
might
Movies or anything like
be.
that? I'm gonna look and see. I'm gonna watch it.
It's worth the $4 to even rent it. Like
Yeah.
it's that good.
Buy it.
Buy it.
Yeah, it's
It's
that good.
Yeah.
fifth. I got it fifth because I'll put it ahead of Batman Begins, but I won't put it ahead of Dark Knight.
Knight.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. I would not put it above Batman Begins.
So my
It's
thing
sixth
with
for
it
me.
is
But I do like it better than Memento, which
I
I
do
just
too.
rewatched, and I do not
Memento's
like that
so
much.
good.
Really, the whole movie?
Whole movie. I watched it again, and I was like, this just doesn't. I think that Memento might be, and granted, I haven't seen Dunkirk, I haven't
Following?
seen Insomnia, I have seen Following, which I like better than Memento. I love Following. Not as much as those other movies that we mentioned, but
$6,000 budget.
Memento might be my least favorite of his movies.
When I think about, now that you brought up Memento and then Interstellar, Inception, this movie, you really start to, and obviously there's similarities, it's the same person, but you really start to realize the storyline similarities and like the
Time.
concept
Time.
thing is like really, really similar.
He's obsessed.
This movie,
Dunkirk too. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have seen.
You saw Dunkirk.
What was the
didn't you?
one that he just came out with?
Dunkirk was before this.
Yeah, Dunkirk.
The war movie. Where they're
No.
defending the
What's the one with the brothers? Wasn't that his?
No, that's 1917.
1917.
That's
Yeah, that's it. That's not him.
that's
I thought that was him, but I
No,
guess
it's not him, but-
Okay.
So with this one, like, and you compare it to like an Inception or even Interstellar, it had the same concept, the time thing.
Yeah.
It looked great. The sound was good. I enjoyed it. But if you compare it to just the two of those solely, and you think about the complexity of the stories the other two compare to this, it really falters.
Yeah.
The storyline,
Those
was
two both
not-
explained much better than this
Yeah.
one too. So the stories were better, but the explanation was as well. I
was
came out
never
of
lost in Inception.
Inception. I understood
That
the
was
whole
great.
way through, and Interstellar I understood all the way up until the black hole,
ghost.
and then I was like,
Yeah.
you're losing me a little bit. But
Yeah. But like you break it down and you think about like this one, he definitely like lost a little bit compared to those two. But Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. Like
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
well, the difference
So-
is you look at or let's start with Inception. Like you have all this world building, you know, all of these people's jobs. You see examples of this technology ahead of time.
Yep.
It's put in a simplistic way. They dumb it down. They bring in new people who they have to teach it to. So we learn with them.
Yeah.
And then an hour and 15 minutes into the movie, you get to the actual main point. Interstellar, the same thing. We find out about the problem for 30 minutes. You find out about the science behind it. You know all this weird shit that's going on. They go
Aging.
into space. You see different
Yeah.
examples of all this stuff happening after it's been explained. And then you get to the final. This one, it's like,
Hey, shit's inverted.
here's a giant
does that
thing,
mean?
and here's a
Yeah.
doctor that explains it to you with a gear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go on this mission.
But that's even the thing with Dunkirk, though, is like, so from an early point, you realize there's 3 different vantage points in the story, and they're all being told at different time manipulations.
frames,
Some
yeah.
could be at the end of this war, some could be at the beginning of this war, some could be during this war. And you pick up all those pieces very early on. I was never lost in that movie either.
Yeah.
To Jesse's point, I was a little lost in Interstellar at the end when they start going through the ghost thing and all that.
He's like in the walls.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But after the second time I watched it, I started picking it up a little bit more. And I went, yeah, I understand this. It's not hard to hear either.
Yeah.
Like
It's such a beautiful movie,
Tenet.
man.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful movie.
And that's the only part of that movie that's not like fully enveloped in true science. That's the other thing that I want to know about. Cause like Interstellar, like they did I don't know if you guys have ever seen Cinema Sins where they go through movies and find everything wrong with it.
Yeah.
They did one for Interstellar with Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he talks about like the legitimacy of all the science within that movie.
Well, they hired a science guy.
It's almost perfect. And they did the same thing with this one.
Tenet, yeah.
But I want to know how it lines up in terms of the explanations and stuff. But like we said in the movie theater, like I really want to buy it and watch it with subtitles on because I feel like I'll be able to appreciate it a lot more.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm debating because I have an easy week this weekend for movies. I'm debating if I want to go watch it again. Ryan, I wanted to ask you, how was your theater in terms of audience? Like, was it packed?
Yeah, mine was pretty full. We went to
So-
Tinseltown,
Mhm.
at Cinemark Tinseltown.
XD?
we did the XD theater, which is the big one.
Yeah.
It was
There's like 360 seats.
Yeah, it was pretty full. They had the like 2 seats to the side, 2 seats in front, 2 seats to the side blocked off.
That's what I like.
I would say it was probably sold out to the seats that were available. Concessions was packed.
Yeah.
Concession stand was packed. Like we waited in line to get to that. So the one thing I was super disappointed by is that you didn't get a ticket.
We got a ticket.
They didn't ticket, and I collect the stubs because it's all digital.
No,
they didn't give you an actual ticket
because Nick bought ours, and then I never got one.
Yep,
that's true. So I'm gonna have to go back anyway.
Super bummed that you didn't get an actual.
Even if I just buy the ticket and walk out,
because I collect those.
So we can sneak in very easily now, because you can say, "Well, I don't have a ticket stub because you guys didn't give me one."
Right. Well, but you should have the digital.
That's where mine goes.
You should have the digital copy. They're gonna say, "Well, do you have the purchase receipt or whatever for your ticket?"
We could just do what we did the last time and refund it. Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. No, I feel it. But yeah, I was just bummed that you didn't get a ticket.
Yeah.
I don't really like their tickets to begin with, though. And Regal, I recently
know, the
went
cheap
to.
paper, like
Regal's the same
paper.
way, though. Like
So
Regal used
lame.
to be the actual ticket stock.
That's what I liked. They looked so good. I
With
collect
the
mine.
perforated
They're non-existent.
edge and-
Yeah.
You can't get them anywhere anymore.
I have a big book of every ticket for every movie that I've ever gone to, and it's in this huge book. And like the tickets now are garbage. Like anytime I try to stick them into there, they collapse or they fall apart. It's
receipt paper basically.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
one step above.
It's a bummer. I was really disappointed in that aspect. But overall, the experience was good. It was nice being back in a theater.
You felt safe.
Yeah, most people, I think for the most part, everyone had masks on the entirety of the show. I mean, I had concession stuff, so it was like an on and off type thing. But
honestly,
yeah,
with
it
how
felt
much
good.
distance
I
they-
wasn't super concerned though, honestly,
Yeah.
to begin with.
I know.
Yeah.
But it seemed as if overall they did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, the person that checked your ticket was blocked off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he was secured behind
Right.
plexi and stuff, and they had it plexied at the line. The only thing I think that is a downfall with them, but I guess it's really up to you as a patron, is the concession line. I mean, you were neck and neck with people. Like there was no distancing. Everyone was piled in that little area trying to pick out what candy they wanted and stuff. So there was no distancing in that aspect of it,
Right.
but whatever.
But they had the stickers and stuff on the floor.
They did their part, but people just
Right.
were just doing whatever they wanted.
Yeah, Cinemark was way better than the Regal that I went to. But honestly, with how much distance there was in that movie theater, I would have felt totally comfortable if there wasn't a mask.
Me
rule
too.
In there. Like
Yeah,
I wore
you were
mine
not
the
even-
majority of the time that
Yeah.
we were in there. Whenever I finished my popcorn and stuff, I put it back on the rest of the way, which was probably like an hour and 45 minutes of the movie. But I would have felt fine leaving
With
it off.
how big, especially like a Tinseltown or even like with the recliner seats,
Yeah.
you're a distance from the person in front of you regardless.
Yeah.
Like
And you're right. That XD theater is huge.
Was your place every other row, even with that extra space?
mm-mm.
Okay.
No, yeah, there was
Because
people.
you guys
on the road.
have big stuff in Tinseltown.
Yeah,
like
no, it was just 2 seats to the side and then nobody directly in front of you, but there
Gotcha.
was someone catty-cornered to you in the
See,
row. in
ours
front of
was
you.
the 2 seats to the side, and then it was every other row.
Oh,
so you were
damn.
guaranteed.
Yeah, we didn't use that.
And let me just, I'm going to cement it with this last thought. 2 amazing trailers. Dune, the teaser looked amazing. And that real
Yes.
trailer comes out Wednesday. And 2, Judas and the Black Messiah, which is shot in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, there are
the
a lot of
music
really
in that
good-
trailer is great.
There are some good movies coming out that I'm looking forward to for sure.
Have we talked about Batman on the show?
Yeah.
Was that 2 weeks ago?
It was either 2 or 3 weeks ago, the last episode or the one before. I remember we discussed, no, actually, this is a while back.
Yeah, we haven't
Because
talked about
Nick was in
Batman
that discussion.
in a little while. He's got COVID.
Yeah.
Batman can't get COVID. I think
We didn't
it's
say that.
bullshit,
That's
but
true.
But
I can't wait for that movie.
I'm pumped.
I'm
But
so
now it's even delayed even more though.
no, they said production's back on. They're going.
Oh.
They're going around Pattinson. They're going to shoot everything right now that doesn't involve him.
Oh, that's smart.
I'm
looking forward to that.
real quick. I just want to touch on Mulan. Real quick,
Yeah.
came out this week, and for people who even have Disney Plus, they were charging $30 to see this movie. Some of us have other ways of watching it, but yeah, I checked it out, and for someone whose second favorite Disney movie is the '98 version of Mulan, this movie was severely disappointing.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Fuck no, I read his review.
No, it was your most anticipated movie of the year.
I know,
So I
but
don't know if you watched it.
I waited for his anything that's not a regular ticket price. I'm gonna wait for Chris to tell me whether or not I should see
Chris
it.
could probably let you see it for free.
And that's
He-
I could, and that's the thing is like I think the price handicaps expectations too. Like, so people are going into this going like, I have to pay $30 for this. This movie better be the greatest thing on ice.
Yeah.
And it's nowhere near that.
So to that point, in full honesty, 2 months ago, maybe we said we'd pay $50 to see Tenet in theater. Would you pay $50 still to see Tenet in theater?
After now
seeing
that we
it,
know what we know,
now that you've seen it, would you have paid $50 to see that still?
No. I thought it was great, but I wouldn't pay $50 to see it.
yeah, no,
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I would pay $30 to see it.
Yeah.
I would.
I don't know, man. It was good, but I didn't. Honestly, I haven't thought about it since the theater.
Would you pay $20 to see it?
Yes.
So we're not far off.
20 and 50 is pretty.
No, 20 and 30.
Oh,
I said 30.
Yeah.
I'm not paying 50.
Inception, I could knock it off my mind after watching that. Interstellar, even that I thought about for a couple of days. I didn't think about this again.
Damn. I have been because I want to see it again.
Yeah.
So to tweak your question though, $50. Now, if we rented out our own theater for that kind of money, and the four of us, or our friends, or
I would have
whoever
paid that.
went to go see that, and we can all pitch in.
That's a regular movie ticket price.
That's no problem. Yeah.
Regular
So,
ticket price at that point. I wouldn't have paid $50 to see it.
Yeah.
Not now. I mean, not knowing. I think it was the hype. There was so much hype and just wanting to get back in the theater.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if there's been a movie this year. I'm trying to think about stuff that came out between January and March before it all shut down, but I don't think there's anything that I would have paid $50 to see in theaters at this point.
There's great movies this year, but there's nothing worth 50 because the movies that I have as the best of the year are like independent films that are no spectacle to see on the big screen. So,
what's a movie that you saw in theater that you would have paid $50 to see?
Mad Max Fury Road.
I did not like that movie.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
I think it's visually incredible.
Oh,
but I don't think that there's any point.
Good.
I own it.
What's a movie you would have paid $50 to see in theater?
Recently or just in general?
Somewhat recently, but in general.
Jojo Rabbit.
$50?
I fucking love that.
I understand
it, but $50 is a lot. I don't think it was $50 worth.
I understand your love for it, but like if you're paying $50, you want great sound, you want great
That's true.
It has to almost be an action movie, doesn't it?
$50 is a lot for JoJo. It was a good movie. I own it. It was a good movie, but
I'd pay $50 for Endgame.
That I think I probably would have.
Yes, although I like Infinity War more.
Me too, but just in the sake of recency.
Yeah.
Think of everything that's come out recently. There's not really been a lot recently that I would have paid. Like
Inception, I would have paid 50.
Inception, I'd pay 50.
I'd pay 50 for.
Yeah.
Begins and Dark Knight, I'd have paid 50.
Yeah.
I would not have paid 50 for
Rises.
Nope.
Cobra Kai.
Haven't watched it yet.
Well, it's not out yet.
Cobra Kai.
It's on Netflix.
Season
1 and 2.
For the people that never watched it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I've watched. Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No. I have it on my list. I haven't got to start it.
Come on,
I had to get through The Boys and The Umbrella Academy first.
Oh, we're making me skip.
I haven't watched either of those.
Umbrella Academy is good, not great. There were some parts where I got bored, but overall it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Boys is just as good as the first season.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Stormfront is, man,
Yeah.
you better watch your ass. You pissed off the two most powerful people.
Yep.
Would you have paid $50 to see Black Panther in theater?
In this COVID time, not knowing what it was, yes.
Even after seeing it? I would have.
No.
It's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
It is one of my favorite Marvel movies, but
I've watched it
It's not big enough for the $50 mark like an Endgame was.
There's something about 30. That.
It's a great story Marvel movie for me, and like the one-on-one fights are great, but outside of that casino fight, there's not a lot of huge battles that are like cinematic.
I don't know what is about that movie.
Michael B. Jordan stealing the show.
But
he's incredible.
When it came out, I mean, I saw it in theater, then I immediately bought it. And I go through these weird phases where I'll watch it like 3-4 days in a row. And I'll just watch it over and over and over again. And I don't know why, but I get sucked into it, the story, or just the movie, and I love that movie. It is one of my all-time favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah, the characters must, translate well to you.
I don't know what it is, because I wasn't super familiar with Black Panther as a whole.
I didn't know
prior to that
about
movie.
him.
Me either.
And man, I loved it.
Yeah.
I think Black Panther has the second best villain behind Thanos out of everybody. Killmonger, I think, is number 2
in the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody better.
I agree.
Except for the biggest baddie that they built up for 10 years. But
and I think
they hit that on the head, though, man. Josh Brolin was perfect.
Oh, yeah. I think in some ways, Killmonger's better.
I think he's better in terms of his story development because you only have that one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just so personal with him.
Yeah.
And you understand, both of them you understand, but like Killmonger, you're like, yeah, I do the same thing.
Right.
I mean,
that's what makes good villains is whenever you can relate to that person and understand where they're coming from. Like, that's why Magneto was great.
Yeah.
Like, that's why even Thanos, like, you're like, well, he's not really like terrible.
You
like, he's really trying to save the world.
Yeah.
Like, and then you got guys like the Dark Elves and Thor 2, where you're just like, what the fuck are these pieces of shit for?
That's probably the worst in my opinion.
That's the worst Marvel movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, Black Panther had some devastating news.
Yeah. So basically, this happened, a week ago today?
God, it's only been a week. It feels like it's been longer.
It was a week ago today. But
it's been, what was? We got to get that date.
Yeah.
Shoot. When did that happen? I drew that picture on the 30th or like the 29th or so. So.
Yeah, maybe a little over a week.
I think it's a little over
10 days, something like that.
Let me pull up. So Chadwick Boseman passed away. Black Panther.
It's no surprise by now. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman passed away. The Black Panther himself, colon cancer.
It was the 28th.
28th. Okay, so 11 days. He had the colon cancer apparently the last 4 years, was suffering from it, did not tell anybody about it. Every appearance you've seen him on, whether it's movies or Saturday Night Live, he worked his way through the pain. Constant professional, did a lot of charity work, was an all-around great guy inside and out, and he's going to be abundantly missed by his presence.
Now, did he have that during the first Black Panther?
Yeah.
Or not first Black Panther, but the first Civil War when he was introduced?
Oh, I don't know. When was that film? Because it was 2016-ish that he
got it.
They said he found out in 16. Yeah.
I think it probably would have been just after that then when he found out, but he probably had it.
Yeah. Would you have guessed during the entire filming of Black Panther that he was battling colon cancer, stage 4 or whatever?
Not Panther, no, but earlier this year when the COVID videos started coming out, I wasn't one of those that were making fun of him like online talking about. But I was like, dude, something doesn't look right about him.
I did. But I said I thought he was preparing for a role. I said he looks sickly. What's he preparing for? And I feel like now I feel like an asshole knowing that. I wasn't making fun.
I wasn't either.
But I was like, man, he looks rough.
Right.
What role is he preparing to play?
Yeah.
Unknowing that what was actually going on.
Yeah. And he was what I defined as the biopic actor. Like, he played a lot of legendary figures in his movie, from James Brown to
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson
was big.
So I mean, this guy, his range was outstanding. Thurgood Marshall. He was even the best 10 minutes of Gods of Egypt, which granted isn't hard to do, but to make a memorable stand in that movie really supplants you as a great actor. I think honestly, it's tragic that we're never going to get him in that role again, just beyond losing a great person. But I think his legacy is the things he did off camera.
Yeah.
That's he was always a constant family man. He was always a constant Samaritan with charities and all that. And, it's like they say, man, the good ones always die young. And that's Chadwick Boseman is no exception.
And the off camera, obviously he did a lot. It's the image I think that he gave to that community, to African American community, to being that black superhero, and for them to lose him. The tributes and stuff that I saw were so sad. Kids with their action figures. Yeah. When they had him and like the action figures around him, like laying him to rest and stuff, and just like seeing that kind of impact is just devastating. He seemed just like such a genuinely good person that gave back and stuff.
Yeah.
I really was drawn to him. I don't know. And probably part of why I really enjoyed that movie. Like, there's something about him that's just likable.
His charisma.
Yeah. His charisma was really, overwhelming. Like he was great. Did you guys see the story of his tie to Denzel? Him and Denzel Washington?
I heard something about that,
So
but I didn't see it.
I was watching a video about him and Denzel Washington. So apparently, when Chadwick was first trying to get into like acting and stuff, he was going to school and didn't have the funds to like cover it. And Denzel Washington paid his tuition.
Oh wow!
To go to like the acting school or whatever where he went, and he didn't know. And then 20 years later, give or take, at the premiere of Black Panther, he finally got to personally thank him for that.
Wow.
For where he became. And he did a speech about how there would be no Black Panther without him because Denzel paid for him to be able to go through school and finish his acting career and stuff like that. And I thought that was just a cool story seeing, you know, one, Denzel's belief in him, especially coming from someone of that caliber. Like Denzel knew that you had what it took and paid for you to finish school anonymously and stuff. And then for Chadwick to be able to get to a level of proving his success that he had the ability to meet him one-on-one because his movie did so well and it was a big enough premiere that Denzel was there and to thank him and for that to come full circle is really, really cool. But yeah, they had some kind of, I don't remember exactly like Denzel's overall why him or whatever, but either way, just a cool story.
Must have saw something in him from like an early, you know, because they see those kind of reels every day, you know, like the casting agents and all that, and I'm sure Denzel has access to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, really sad to see that. Curious to see where they're going to take this role. There was supposed to be Black Panther 2 in like 2022 or something.
Yeah, it's off now.
Yeah,
until further notice.
I mean, they're gonna have to obviously rewrite in that role. There's people been saying to have his sister take over, which would be super cool.
Yeah, it's the
I guess that's what happened in the comic. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the comics, I'm not familiar, but I saw some people say have Killmonger come back and take his role, but then have his sister overthrow him. Like see the dynasty that he creates and how negative it is, and then have her come back as like the quote unquote villain and overthrow him, which I thought would be kind of cool to see. Rather than just like giving it to her, like because he technically won the battle or whatever and was the rightful king or whatever, the Black Panther. So
I think that they were setting up Andy Serkis's character, which I can't remember what he's called in the comics. Claw.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like him.
They had already put him into Age of Ultron when he gets his hand cut off. He came back in this. He made it out at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know how you write out a character without showing them.
That's what I was saying. How are they going to explain this?
Like the loss of Black Panther.
Yeah.
Right. Where is he?
They'll figure out something like they did with Paul Walker.
Right.
They'll do like a face recognition thing or whatever and use.
If I have to hear that song again, I'm jumping.
I know, right? Goddamn.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it would be cool to do something like that. You have some good characters based in that area still.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing what's his name? He wore the gorilla mask. He was the vegetarian, real big guy. What was his name?
Oh yeah.
M'Baku.
Yeah,
I like him a lot too.
I loved his character. I thought he stole the movie.
Winston Duke is the real actor.
Yeah, I really like him a lot.
He was great in Us also.
Yeah. I like him in Us a lot.
But I would like to see even if he possibly had a bigger role in this movie. Maybe it's not. Maybe there is no Black Panther at this point, and they're figuring it out along the way, type of thing. Like you could honor his memory in this film
with not
having
having
anybody right away.
Yeah,
and then it could all be about. I mean, maybe he dies in the movie as well, and then it's just kind of like
he dies in Endgame, doesn't he?
Well, he disappears, but then he comes back he disappears in Infinity War and he comes back in Endgame.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So like my thing is and I hate to say this, but if he had passed like when they were filming, Endgame,
bring him back.
You easily write him back like, well, he's in that dimension, he never came back or whatever.
Right.
So there you go.
And you could say something like maybe you could easily write in something that could be like, after the snap and everything, he realized that there were bigger things to this and he went off on his own, or he was focusing on, at the end of Black Panther, he's opening up these schools for kids and stuff. Maybe he walks away from the fighting and he just becomes more of like an involved in, the world type of thing, which was his goal.
That is the hard thing too. Like the way that Black Panther ends, and like they're setting him up for so much.
Right.
How do you?
I thought he was going
How
to
do
be
you
the
write
face.
that out? You know,
Like I really thought people talk about Captain Marvel, but I really thought he was going to be the face of that next phase
generation
For
outside, other than Spider-Man, obviously.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, for continuity purposes, you can't just not mention it. Like
No.
it has to. There has to be some kind of recognition that this happened, on screen.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think Shuri gets it, but
yeah, she's gonna get it one way or another. How they write her in, I'm not sure, but it makes sense for her to take over the role.
And I love her. Like she's
I liked her
like
a lot.
her character. She's like in the comic. She's supposed to be smarter than Tony Stark.
yeah, she's the smartest, I think,
yeah,
other than
smart.
like maybe Mr. Fantastic or something, but they haven't been introduced yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I heard she's smarter than Stark though, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Of this MCU, like she's the smartest character.
Yep.
Yeah, I like her, and she's got a lot of charisma too. Laisha Wright.
Yeah, I was a big fan of hers in that movie too.
And I don't think fans are gonna
casting. They did good.
Fans aren't gonna nitpick it or be mad regardless of what they do. I think there's going to be a general consensus understanding, and they're just gonna go with it. So even if it's not great, it's not part of the 10-year plan. As long as they rebound with their next films, they'll be fine. And you could even put something into like the WandaVision, because they're going to be allowing so much stuff to change in that show.
Oh yeah.
You could easily retcon, make some changes and introduce something in the show even.
Oh God, that would be strange, man.
Yeah. Because that's what they're saying is going to happen. Those shows will tie in with the movies. Like you have to watch them on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a big fan of
I'm
them
not
doing
either.
stuff like that, but with
like
them
that.
being movie characters, I'm a little bit more accepting of it.
That's interesting. I think we missed it in Let's Get Social, but isn't there going to be a real life Wakanda?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So basically, let me click the link here.
I got to look this up while you guys are talking because I haven't heard about anything about
R&B
it.
singer Akon is building a real-life Wakanda worth $6 billion in Senegal. The award-winning R&B singer Akon is going ahead with ambitious plans to build a futuristic city in Senegal that he says will be a real-life version of Wakanda, the high-tech nation portrayed in Marvel blockbuster Black Panther. On Monday, Akon, real name Alume Damala, laid the first stone for Akon City in Mobadine Park, 100 kilometers from Dakar, the country's capital, and said work would begin next year.
Did you guys see what they're going to have an official currency as well? He has a cryptocurrency that he's supposed to have. It's supposed to be like the nation currency. It's called A coin. No, not a joke. I'm dead serious. It's a news article right here, bro.
This dude.
I'm not joking.
No, I know.
swear
I'm
to
just saying
God.
in general, that's freaking silly. Here's my thing. Like I'm cool. It's ambitious.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to what he plans to implement to make it Wakanda-ish, like as far as technologically advanced, because you've got places like UAE that like United Arab Emirates is like, it's out there, man.
Yeah.
Their technology and their buildings and their architecture and stuff, that is like a Wakanda already.
You talking like, is that like Abu Dhabi? Is that
United Arab
considered?
Emirates is the richest country in the entire world. It's in the Middle East.
Yeah.
But that's the country. It's UAE. That's the name of the country. They filmed part of one of the Fast and the Furious is there.
Yeah.
Dubai is in it, right? Isn't
Dubai is the capital or whatever
Yeah, it's
of
a city.
UAE, and it's insane. Like if you
Just a
look them
shitload
up,
of oil money. Like
yeah, but the buildings and like the style is very
Mm-hmm.
futuristic and stuff. I watched some shows on like some of the buildings that they've built and like the skeletal, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like the closest thing I can think of Wakanda.
I guess you just recruit them.
So I was gonna say like Akon's gonna have to really like here's the thing. If you're saying you're building a real life Wakanda, don't let us down.
right.
Like
No.
you got some big freaking shoes to fill,
Yeah.
man. Like you just set yourself up for like, don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's a big thing to say.
The cool thing though is like Wakanda's not just futuristic either though. Like it's all based in like African culture,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just futuristic enough. Like there were scenes in that where I was like, oh yeah, this just looks like a totally normal
Absolutely.
market. But then they've got like self-driving fucking trams going through and like all this other dope stuff. I don't know, man. I think it'd be dope. He's doing a lot of stuff in Africa on top of it. Like he's doing a whole bunch of he's got like freshwater programs and stuff over there. It's really like crazy story when you look at his life from what he came from to just being a musician and then going over there and
That's the stuff I
Changing,
love
making
to
a
see though,
difference.
man. Yeah, that's the stuff I love to see when people take what they came from and used that as motivation to do better.
Yeah.
I mean, good for him.
And can you imagine season 2, Zac Efron on Wakanda,
bro,
checking out the
right?
land?
You ain't kidding, man. Down to Wakanda with Zac Efron. Dude, I'm all about that. Yeah, good stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, look, here's a seashell. Maybe I'll take my shirt off. Oh.
Man, if I looked like him, I'd be walking around with no shirt on too. Jesus.
I know.
Oh man.
It's a good looking guy. I think that's did we cover all of our segments?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So make sure you remember, check out the Venmo Give Back. Like, share, subscribe, all the normal stuff. Season 3's kicked off with this episode. We've got guests lined up for the next 3 episodes. If you want to be on the show, comment on this one. Send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. Me, Jesse, Chris, send us a message directly. We're lining up people that think they've got cool or unique jobs. I'd love to sit down and talk to you about your cool job.
I'm writing Tank.
Chris is going to reach out to Tank Girl or whatever.
Bounty
and then if you got a cool inspirational story you want to share, let us know. We got 3 super random guests lined up. Like people that you wouldn't probably think we were going to have on the show, but we're trying to get someone that everybody can relate to, you know. So hit us up if you want to be on. Share this episode. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. And we'll catch you on season 3, episode 2.
Podcast.
We started late.